on Facebook at TV3 Ghana, where your thoughts and comments are welcome. My name is Godwin Yasiduba. Let's take a look at the headlines. Coming up this morning, the National Disaster Management Organization urges residents in low-lying communities of the Bagre Dam to relocate to higher ground of their safety. Police intensify security in Sola and Biniyiri of the Savannah region following communal clashes. The Oti region is battling surge in typhoid fever cases with more than 10,200 confirmed infections recorded in the first half of 2025. We have details of these and more stories coming your way in the next 30 minutes. We begin the program from here, where the Inspector General of Police, Christian Tete Yohunu, says the heavy deployment of police officers to the area has reduced the tension that had gripped the Sola Tune Kalba district after deadly communal clashes there. The clashes were over disputed lands, forcing hundreds of residents to flee for safety. Fresh attacks last night prompted regional officials to tighten security even in neighboring communities. The IGP says since the arrival of the extra security officers, no gunshots have been heard in the area. He spoke briefly after assessing the situation.
Since I came, we don't hear any gunshots and all those things because the security personnel have actually taken the ground and then making sure that life will return to normalcy. Yes, so I can say that we are firmly on the ground, the police, military and other security services working together to make sure that life returns. If things are not well, passing through this tough terrain, several kilometers to get here, it will be difficult for you and I to get here. But your observation shows that at least the gunfire has come down, and then all we want is that how we have to work together to bring peace so that people can now return to their settlements without any fear of being attacked. That is the stage in which we are working. Then there was an emergency they have to respond to, and they went to respond to the emergency. The most important is that they have to protect life, and then later on they protect property. And they took the first option of protecting life. Yes, it is enormous. And I think with that, we have to now increase the numbers of the police that have to be on the ground over there so that, when others are not there, others can be there to hold the fort.
Following the announcement by Burkinabe authorities to undertake a controlled spillage of excess water from the Bagre and Kupenga dams, authorities in the Upper East region led by National Disaster Management Organization are stepping up emergency sensitization efforts, urging residents in low-lying communities to move to higher ground for their safety. Upper East regional correspondent Kashu Senyala has more.
On Friday, 22nd August 2025, Ghanaian authorities received an official communication from Sonabel, Burkina Faso's national electricity utility company, regarding the annual controlled spillage from the Bagre and Kupenga dams. According to the communications, the current water levels are nearing critical thresholds, with the Bagre Dam at 233.99 meters, reaching 86.38% of its full capacity, and the Kupenga Dam at 177.66 meters. Burkinabe officials have warned that the effect of the spillage will be felt within 48 hours in Ghana, especially along the White and Black Volta rivers, putting communities and farmlands at risk of flooding. Each year, this controlled spillage wreaks havoc in low-lying areas across the Upper East, Upper West, Northeast, and Northern regions, destroying crops, homes, and vital infrastructure, and deepening the vulnerability of rural communities reliant on agriculture and fishing. In response, the National Disaster Management Organization in the Upper East region has launched intensified sensitization efforts, urging all residents in low-lying zones to move to higher grounds to ensure safety.
The situation for now is calm. Everything is under control. So we are here with our local divers, our DVGs, and that of the zonal coordinators to ensure close monitoring of the process. We have also been able to engage with the farmers, the fishermen along the White Volta River here. We have been able to sensitize them effectively on the need to immediately evacuate to higher grounds or to safer places.
One of the worst hit areas year after year is the Boku West district, especially Sapelega, where the confluence of the Bagre and Kumpenga dams lies. Local farmers have suffered repeated losses, with investments worth thousands of Ghana cedis washed away. The district chief executive, James Ayamwego, has cautioned farmers against risking their lives to harvest crops in the flood waters.
We came to advise the people, the farmers, and to be aware of the situation and then take precautionary measures and follow the laid down protocols that we are given as part of our education, so that we don't encounter with any situation that may be difficult for us to manage.
As local authorities led by NADMO continues its efforts to reduce the impact of the devastation this year, the chief of Sapelega, Naba, Abangba, Ayagba II is calling for long-term solutions to a problem that returns every year.
But all the same, they should do well and also see to us. The government to see to us. It's everyday dance that they are dancing. They are saying nothing. We are all happy they've done that, or else after the damage is done, you're given a cap. A cap cannot use to feed yourself, neither your family.
In the Upper East region, the spillage is expected to affect several districts, including the Boku West, Binduri, Boku Municipal, Nabdam, and Telensi districts. From the Boku West district of the Upper East region, Castro Senyala, for TV3 News.
The Narcotics Control Commission, NARCOC, has arrested the main suspect behind the attempted trafficking of 7 slabs of cocaine weighing a total of 8 kilograms through Suez Port at the Kotoka International Airport. The illegal drug consignment was intercepted during separate attempts on August 13 and 14, 2025 en route to the United Kingdom. Preliminary investigations revealed sophisticated concealment methods intended to bypass security checks at the airport. According to NARCOC, the suspect was apprehended following detailed surveillance and intelligence-led operations. Authorities believe the individual plays a central role in an international drug trafficking network operating between West Africa and Europe. The suspect is currently in custody and assisting with investigations, while NARCOC has assured the public of its commitment to clamping down on narcotics smuggling and strengthening airport security protocols. We'll keep an eye on that story and bring you the details subsequently. President John Dramani Mahama has expressed confidence in Ghana partnering Singapore's Institute of Technology to understand local experiences in higher education. Speaking earlier at a business summit, he outlined 5 areas of possible investment, including agriculture and education, where he expects Singapore to tap into.
The president told Singaporean investors that Africa is the fastest emerging market and Ghana is prepared to serve as a gateway, taking into account the country's current economic gains.
Africa and Singapore must be champions of open markets, trusted rules, trade rules, and practical partnerships that deliver jobs, technology transfer, and shared prosperity for our people. I speak today as an African leader and as president of Ghana, and our message is simple. Africa is investable, and Ghana is your reliable gateway to that continent.
Trade between Africa and Singapore rose nearly 50% in 4 years to $14 billion with Ghana-Singaporean trade reaching over $215 million in 2024. Addressing the business community at the 8th African Singapore Business Forum, the president assured the island Asian country to turn its focus to Ghana amidst global uncertainties. Singapore's minister in charge of trade relations said the visit by the president should be a catalyst to increase trade and bilateral relations with the two countries.
You know, as you're saying in Africa that you want to go fast, go alone, but if you want to go far, go with your friends. So look beyond the familiar. Let us not just Africa and Southeast Asia as separate markets, but as complementary engines of growth.
He later visited the Singapore Institute of Technology.
8 persons who assaulted Mavis Howard-Kumson, ex-Minister of Fisheries and Agriculture, and 2 others during the Ablekuma North rerun elections have been convicted by an Accra Circuit Court. This was after they had pleaded guilty to conspiracy to commit crime and with assault and counts of assault. The 8 persons include Mohammed Abubakar, private security, and Johnnie Mohammed, a driver, Prince Jakwasu, a businessman, and Anas Mohammed, who is an estate developer. The rest are Mohammed Hamda, a mechanic, Dako Atibu Samuel, a businessman, Musa Muntari, a station manager, and Ali Said, a businessman. The accused persons were convicted on their pleas, and the court deferred sentence to Friday, August 29, 2025. They were, however, granted the accused persons who are on police inquiry bail, court bail in the sum of 80,000 Ghana cedis with 1 surety each. The Aircraft Accident and Incident Investigation and Prevention Bureau, AIB Ghana, is fighting back claims they are failing at their jobs. The Bureau says they have prevented multiple potential aviation crashes and still counting. Although the AIB Ghana is not mandated to investigate military aircraft, approval has been granted to be involved in the ongoing investigation into the recent Z9 helicopter crash, claiming 8 lives. George Koenig has more.
We are not only active when there are accidents, but we are equally working behind the scenes to prevent potential aircraft accidents. A worried commissioner of the Aircraft Accident and Incident Investigation and Prevention Bureau, AIB Ghana, opened the press briefing on one of their core mandates. John Imboti said, although they are not mandated to investigate military aircraft, approval has been granted this time round to investigate happenings which led to the recent Z9 helicopter crash.
We are not part of Ghana Civil Aviation because we are to investigate what they do. And so we are an autonomous and a separate institution. We don't investigate military aircrafts. And this incident that happened, like I said, we will only do that when we have an approval by the sector minister. And so this particular one, AIB Ghana is part of the investigation because we've been invited to use our expertise. And so AIB is fully represented.
The commissioner also revealed that the purpose of such investigation is not to apportion blame, but rather avoid future occurrences.
That is why you don't often see aircraft accidents. They are flying every minute in Ghana. But because of the recommendations that we do, that is why they correct all the mistakes that might have happened. Then that is where we don't have the, we don't incur, or we don't happen to see more accidents happening. And so when we finish with our investigation and we give the recommendation, we follow up to make sure that they implement it.
A retired pilot and investigator at the Bureau, Captain Retired Paul Fodro, assured that the report will be truthful and transparent, imploring the general public to be patient and allow the board to work.
A lot of investigative work has been done, and it's been done very professionally. We're going to, together as a nation and with all the various agencies, we're going to build up on all of that. And at the end of the day, I would just plead that we all be a bit patient.
Yeah.
Let's let the results come out, you know, and I believe it will be a truthful and transparent thing, and the public will be happy that they waited a bit. But to rush, it would confuse the issue.
AIB Ghana is a national agency responsible for investigating, regulating and preventing aircraft accidents and incidents in Ghana.
Pressure is mounting on government to begin implementing the Affirmative Action Law nearly a year after its passage in 2024. At a recent dialogue, stakeholders voiced concern over the continued underrepresentation of women in leadership and called for urgent action to move the law from paper to practice.
The law was crafted to promote gender parity in decision-making spaces, but nearly a year on, it has stalled, awaiting a legislative instrument to bring its provisions to life. The convener of the Affirmative Action Law Coalition, Sheila Minka Premo, emphasized the urgency of addressing gender imbalance and urged swift government action.
For me, the key thing is that this AA law is aimed at addressing this in a very progressive manner. The answer lies in the hard truth of women's exclusion from decision making from a population which is majority women. I think our last population census said women were 50.7. That means that we are outnumber men. Yet, within our governance structures, it's a different thing. Very few women are found in key decision-making positions.
Senior research fellow at IDEC, Professor Kwesi Jonah, proposed adopting a mixed-member proportional representation system and scrapping the current 30% quota, reserving those seats exclusively for women candidates.
The current representation of women at this level, 4%, is shameful and disgraceful. Let us adopt the mixed member proportional representation, which should allow political parties to go into local government. But even if we are not ready for that, it is still possible to make the affirmative action work by adopting the same principle, abolishing the 30%, add further 10, 15, whatever percentage to it, reserve it completely for women to contest.
Deputy Presidential Spokesperson Shamima Muslim reaffirmed government's pledge to appoint 30% of women to leadership roles by 2026.
Our target is 30%. The Minister of Gender has assured that by 2026 we will meet that 30% minimum benchmark in terms of female appointments across board, and we are looking forward to it. In His Excellency's first term, he was able to meet a 29% target of female appointments. And so he cannot do less than the minimum benchmark that he set for himself. And we are assured, as advocates from within, that that commitment would see its fruition.
The Affirmative Action Law seeks to ensure women have a stronger voice at the decision-making table, advancing inclusive governance and national development.
The Oti Region is battling a surge in typhoid fever cases, with over 10,000 confirmed infections recorded in the first half of 2025. Health officials say the outbreak is being driven by poor sanitation, inadequate waste management and limited access to clean drinking water, putting several communities at risk. Data from the Regional Health Directorate shows that 4,417 cases were recorded in the first quarter of the year, followed by 5,816 in the second. In response, a sanitation task force has been launched to lead clear-up operations, improve waste disposal and roll out safe water initiatives aimed at containing the spread. And following my win of the Komla Dumor Award, I had the opportunity to visit a team at the British High Commission. Take a look.
Following his historic win of the 2025 BBC Komla Dumor Award, investigative journalist and anchor Godwin Asidiba was received by a joint team of political, governance and communications at the British High Commission in Accra. At the meeting, the team commended Godwin for his outstanding body of work, praising his fearless commitment to impactful journalism that amplifies marginalized voices, exposes injustice, and sparks meaningful change. They noted that his achievement goes beyond personal success as it reflects the power of journalism to strengthen dialogue, understanding and collaboration between Ghana and the United Kingdom.
The High Commissioner has been doing quarterly media roundtables with us at the residence. We talk about like a particular, topical issue. The last time we had a conversation like that was on the issue of Galaxy ahead of World Press Freedom Day. But we'll rotate through various issues so when you're back in country, because I think it'll be the next one will be when you're away again in the new year. It'll be good to try and get you to be part of that.
The British High Commission expressed optimism that this milestone could open new doors for building stronger ties between the two countries through the lens of storytelling and responsible journalism.
It's really looking ahead to the relationship between the UK and a country like Ghana that we see as a very sort of progressive, modern partnership. No longer independent, but more about how we can work together to promote trade, development, and also international issues.
Godwin reaffirmed his dedication to telling stories that matter, stories that make impact, and stories that bring about change, emphasizing that the award is not an end, but a call to do more for communities whose voices often go unheard.
I just have some sort of love for the job that I do, and I yearn for results as well. I grew up in the northern part of the country, and some of the things that most of these people go through, are experiences that I've also walked through. So going up to this level and still realizing that such things are happening, I feel I can just use my power as a journalist to tell such stories. You're telling this story not just for people who are highly intellectual. There are people who haven't been to school. You need to tell it to fit into every angle. So once you humanize it and you allow the people to tell the story, everyone can get to relate to it, and then you get the results that you're looking at the end of the day. And definitely we continue to tell stories that make change in our communities. My name is Godwin Asidibe, and that's how we bring an end to the bulletin this morning. The morning show continues shortly. Stay with us and see you soon. Bye.
Play. I'm hoping that this weekend I'll be in. What's the title of the play?
Death and the King's Horseman.
Death and the King's Horseman. I saw you on stage. I saw it on your social media handle. You were wearing the
Ashoki.
Ashoki.
Yes, the Nigerian outfit.
So the setting is Nigeria.
It's in Yoruba land, 1942.
Okay. You don't do Ghana this year.
Oh, we
Every
do
time
actually.
Yoruba.
We did.
Because your last show I came to was only Nigerian.
Yeah, I think the last one you watched was The Gods Are Not to Blame. Yeah, that was also Nigerian.
No, The Gods Are Not to Blame. We all use it for literature lessons.
Yes, but the Death and the King's
But when
Horseman
will you do Ghana inspired one so that will also be inspired?
Our last play was based on Nsawan prisons. Before this one, yes. And before that was The Legend of Akusika by Professor Martin Owusu at the University of Ghana. So we've done quite a number of them.
Yeah. Well, welcome to the show, and we will be going to a setting or a road near you. So let me say good morning to everybody who has joined us. Prince Nania York is watching us from the UK, and everybody else who's watching, we're grateful. Well, Kweku Aaron is in Kofodia, and Aaron Brasso works with the new Tafo Government Hospital. Well, certainly. And what have you been up to? I saw you at Pediasi Valley Resort.
Well,
you were chilling. Is it an old video or a fresh one?
No, it was, so I had a very long weekend. Theater is very draining. It's very demanding.
It's draining?
Yeah, it's
when you have to learn your
draining.
lines?
Learn your lines, perform on
Pediasi
stage.
Valley Resort for? Chilling.
So yeah, I had to go and unwind.
Okay.
Yeah,
how did it go for you?
It was really good.
Right.
Actually, it was really good. And we're rerunning again this weekend. So for all lovers of theater, or actually if you've never seen a stage play, this is a good one to start with. This weekend at the National Theatre. Death and the King's Horseman.
Death and the King's Horseman. And so for all things resort, including Mahama Beach Resort and everybody else, we say good morning to all of you.
You should take me to Mahama Beach Resort.
Yeah,
or sponsor me to go.
No, yes, I can.
Sponsor me to go.
Yes, all of us can go. Mahama Beach Resort. I'm telling you, I can promise you that.
Yeah.
Mahama Beach Resort.
I've never been.
To the management and staff of Mahama Beach Resort.
But we haven't gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should go.
Chairman Frank, good morning to you and everybody else. And so, Death and the King's Horseman accepts the visuals there. And this is live on stage. And they're giving you off stage as well as preludes to what goes into the play. And this is when the play was an active session. How many days did you do this?
We ran for 2 days, 4 shows. We'll run another 2 days, 4 shows this weekend.
Right.
And it's based on a true story which happened in 1942 in Yoruba culture.
You mean 1842?
1942.
Okay.
When the king dies, his horseman must commit suicide to join him in the afterlife. And the king's horse and dog are also slain. So that is the culture. That's what was supposed to happen. Now, this horseman who was supposed to commit suicide, on the day of the suicide, the day the community had gathered, waiting for him to actually do the thing, he saw a woman and he fell in love.
And you are the woman? Your
No. I am the market queen,
Okay.
Iyaloja. I play Iyaloja.
Okay.
Iyaloja is a queen of the market
Yeah.
and the voice of conscience to the Ileshi, who is the king's horseman. So that's what you see on the screen now, and we're running again this weekend at 4 p.m. and 8 p.m. each day. If you want to get a ticket, just dial *439#. Oh, look at me. I said *439#.
Yeah.
That's cash out. Oh boy, yeah, that's cash out. So today we're giving 1K plus bonuses on cash out. If you dial, *439#.
And your short code is what?
It's *714 *46#.
*714
*46#. Yeah.
Okay. I also saw on social media Afiefa Infojo praising you massively alongside George.
Is that so?
And, yes.
I must have missed
Image
it.
Bureau for other things. Oh, I mean, you were just tired. But please, this morning we want to talk about many things disaster related for our question of the day for the This Morning segment, and very much dear to our heart. You know that every year, we always tend to have floods, etc. But this time, we're talking about the spillage of the Bagre Dam. The Bagre Dam in itself is located in our neighboring country, Burkina Faso. Each year, we know when the dam, because it's overflowing its banks, will be opened. Now, what it means is that those in the lower channels of the dam will be affected. And our brothers and sisters in the communities in many parts of northern Ghana, especially along the White Water, then tend to get flooded, farmlands get inundated, etc. But the question then is, are we always disaster prepared? We've always known this happens annually, but yet we have communities, people always displaced. We know that the National Disaster Management Organization tends to undertake sensitization or community stakeholder engagement for people to get away from the waterway, so to speak. But, you can't just leave your livelihood, your farms, etc., and say that because water is coming, you want to go. But herein also is a subject matter of your life, which could be devastated as a result. What do you make of, as a country, our disaster preparedness? More importantly, if you live in those communities where, after the spillage of the Bagre Dam by authorities in Burkina Faso, you get affected, what do you make of our ability to be disaster prepared? And thereafter, we'll have Johnnie Hughes coming to the studios of 3FM 92.7 and giving us the latest Johnny's Bite. And then we'll go have big issues. Today we're talking, I don't know whether you've been watching the MPP salvos being thrown by Dr. Brian Champong, Get Connected, Kenny Japan also on the scam, Dr. Mahmoud Bami on the other hand. What I've loved are the flyers, which are talking about the sins of each of the candidates. I'm not too sure editorially we're supposed to do that. I'll try and sneak some in and see whether it's possible, So we'll take a look at that, because the nominations have been open, or the forms picking has also started. I know that Kenny Japan, for example, will be picking the forms today. All right. So what do you make of the leading opposition party, their readiness for their presidential candidacy or the election and all the matters thereof? Okay.
All right. So let's go straight into This Morning now. It's time for the This Morning segment. So what are we doing? And it's time for This Morning. We're talking about our disaster preparedness, specifically the Bagre Dam spillage. We know it's become an annual, if you like, disaster. Every year we talk about this when the Bagre Dam spillage occurs. A lot of the communities downstream are affected. And it's not just the Bagre Dam, actually. Even the Wager Dam, which is in Ghana, built to supply water to some parts of Accra. Every year when there's a spillage, farming communities, households, livelihoods are affected. And every year we talk about it. Now, do we, as a nation or as a country, are we ever prepared for these disasters and how we manage them? And water is just one of them. Dams is just one of them. The rains come. We have our market fires, which have also become rampant. Thankfully, this year we haven't heard of too many of them, but there have been some reports. How exactly do we prepare ourselves as a nation for these disasters? We have a first caller joining us. Hello?
Yeah, hello.
Yes, sir. What's your name?
Yeah, my name is Peter T.
Yes, sir. Peter T. You're welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. Well, and good morning.
Good morning, Alhaji. Peter T. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. How are you too?
I'm well.
Yeah, let me quickly take this opportunity to say good morning to Alhaji Yakubu, and then also Chief Mahdi, National Democratic Government Operations Director, and then Mr. K of Mahama Road, and then Kofi Pro, the Kendi man, Waterman. Roland, now I think that I have problems. The government after government, the way they facilitate to stop this Bagre Dam spillage matter. I always have, because this issue has been there for some time now. And I think that we are not finding the rightful solution, especially proactive solution, to be able to solve this problem. And every year it is there. What has been government negotiating, team, strategy, to be able to solve this problem, even if not once and for all. At least something must be done, because it has to involve human resources, and then also, other material. It is so bad, because one day, I think 2004, this thing happened. It was one of the worst situations so far that Ghana has ever seen. And and still, government have been closing their eyes on this very matter. So I'm appealing to this government, especially the president himself, to be able to be proactive enough to ensure that at least something must be done before the I don't know the time yet, but once it is there all the time, we will be facing it. So at least government must do something about it so that people must also have their peace. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Peter T, for sending that, for calling us. I see some messages coming in. If we don't have any caller, do we have any caller joining us now? All right, let me read some messages coming in. And this is from someone who is obviously very passionate about our disaster preparedness. You don't add your name, but he says, "Nah, I was really hoping that this morning the conversation will be about the primaries, because I have a lot to say about that. However, these flooding situations that happen every year is very appalling. We always wake up every year, campaign on solving the problem, don't solve it, the problem arises, we talk about it, and then go back to sleep. I can assure you that next year by this time, we'll be having the same conversation. This is what we do about all the problems in this country. We talk, and do nothing. Aside the road construction, which you people reported on, none of the other ones that were shown have been touched. We'll talk, and leave it to nothing. God save us." All right. Thank you for sending that in. You can also call us. The phone number is on the screen, or you can connect with us under the screen, the stream on our Facebook feed. We have another caller joining us. Hello?
No.
Roland, I think that's Alaji.
Yes. That's about.
Roland, nah.
Nah.
Let me tell you.
Alaji, is it called Lafia or Dasba? Dasba. Yeah, me Jinky. That's all right. Alaji, welcome to the show. Please share your thoughts on this matter.
Let me send my greeting to Shabima Musa and his husband, Alaji Alasan, and Chief of Staff Honorable D.S. Debra, and Chairman Oposo Ampopo and Azoka. Let's look about our government, and they take different steps, but they pull the council money. When they plan to do the Bagre Dam, because of this white voter program, and they saying that they will take steps to do the Bagre Dam, and look at the money and they have been spending there, done nothing for the country, $12 billion. We need to protect ourselves, not talk. Always, if we talk and we will do this, our program will increase. So we need to look about this thing and take the different steps to protect ourselves. If we open the water, I think we also can use some different methods to let the water get there, and we will use that water to do something different. So if not so, and we always talk, it means that we don't know what we did in this country. We need to be thinking, because if we open the Bagre Dam, I think a lot of people, farmers and other people, will be suffering there. So we need to look about this thing always, and we will stop. So I'm really happy for how this topic this morning.
All right,
thank you very much. Let me send you to Senator. You have prepared to
all right. Thank you, Alaji. Grateful for the call. Roland, we have some messages coming in.
Well, we have a couple more. This one is coming from, I have this one from 2 PhDs and holders. Let me say good morning to Dr. Juliet Yayura Tengyo of the Ghana Military Academy, great, intelligent lady. She says that this is the time that residents in those communities need to have a lot of psychological supports, especially knowing that they'll go through some of these difficulties annually. And we hope that will be there to be able to help them and go through these difficult times as well. Dr. Osei Chan says, as a country, we need to create engineering solutions to our problems. We know that the Bagre Dam is there. It will get full. Once it overflows its banks, the authorities in Burkina Faso will be compelled to open the pathways. Here lies the case. So what are we doing to provide engineering solutions to resolve them? Another PhD holder, Dr. Akofa Segbefia, good morning to you, great man. He says, Roland, can Ghana, through its engineers, work on harvesting water spilled from the Bagre Dam for irrigation purposes? It always beats my mind. Food for thought as well. And then we have a couple more. And Alhaji Jibril of National Security, great man. Good morning to you as well. And then also Edmond Combat's Managing Director at the Tamai Oil Refinery. Good morning to all of you. And say you're watching, you're just loving the show. But this one is coming from Jay Boating, who says that as a country, our response to emergencies are always bad. Just look at the helicopter crash, and you can clearly see that Ghanaians, ordinary ones, of course, did not know what to do firsthand when disaster struck. So what are we doing with the education of our children in schools? Okay, and let me just, do we have another caller?
Yes, we have Mark joining us on the phone lines. Hello, Mark. Sorry for keeping you.
Don't worry. My name is Mark Adolfo. And good morning to Roland and good morning to you now.
Good morning. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much. So just a little suggestion on this annual spillage. I speak in the capacity of an early warning analyst. Yeah. So my thought is I recommend that we strengthen the early warning system and community sensitization. This is very, very important because we know that this happens every year. And it affects a lot of farmers and even some of the fisher folks. So this is an important call for authorities to invest in flood protection infrastructure. This is very important because if you know that your uncle is going to visit you every Christmas, you prepare towards that. So this is a call for authorities and all stakeholders to invest in flood protection infrastructure to help solve this maintenance. So this is my thoughts on that. Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much. We need to invest in flood protecting infrastructure. Thank you, Mark, for that call. You can also call us. The phone number is on the screen. You can send messages through on our Facebook live stream just under the feed, and we'll read them as we go. You can also cash out this morning if you haven't done so already. Dial star 439 hash. Select option 2 for TV3, star 439 hash. Select option 2 for TV3. We've got 10,000 Ghana cedis. We're giving 1,000 cedis to 10 of you. 1K to 10 of you. 1,000 cedis to 10 people. All you have to do is dial star 439 hash. And you could be that lucky winner this morning, star 439 hash. Play as many times as possible, and you can win big on the show. We're going to cross over now to the studios of 3FM, where Johnny Hughes is on standby with Johnny's Bite.
With you, but I understand some of your approach. Sometimes we take hard bites. It helps us. Nowadays, you are even panic. Why do you panic? You know, Papa. It bites us hard as it. Okay. And of course, when it fangs into you, you said it. I think it took Johnny's Bite.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Hasbunallah wa ni'mal wakil. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? And yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil, my cup runneth over, and surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life. And I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever and ever. Amen. Assalamu alaikum. It's Wednesday. Welcome to Johnny's Bite. Let me pause and say a big thank you on behalf of myself and Roland Walker, to Sonar Fashions International in Tamale for our outfits this morning. And Sonar Fashions is reachable on 0246 590 162. That's 0246 590 162, and you can always reach Sonar Fashions out there in Tamale. If you are reaching from outside Ghana, you can just prefix that number with +233, take off the 0, and you're good to go. So it's 0246 590 162. Call them for something special for you and yours. Also, a very, very big thank you to all our cherished viewers and listeners across the world, particularly those who take time to distribute our content to the rest of the wonderful world. We don't take you for granted at all. We appreciate what you do, and we are happy that together you are working with us so we can enlighten the rest of the Republic to be able to do what is right by us and make our country great and strong. Now, there's the conflict in Benin, and my understanding is that it's over a parcel of land or a piece of land. Stop the fight. And that's not the only place that we have some tribal fight happening. If you don't stop the fight, if you don't stop fighting amongst yourself, you cannot be united to be demanding your piece of the cake from the government. If you don't stop fighting, you will not be united enough to demand for your piece of cake from the government. And we can always talk about the sharp divide and the fact that the development up north pales in the shadow of the development down south. We talk about it all the time. But now who caused some? I say there are people who are vested in some of these conflicts who don't even know why they are fighting to begin with. There are people who spend time and money to invest in these fights. And it is not, I'm not the one engineering this conversation. No. The conversations have been there. People have interests. Now, flip the coin and think about how much. I'm finding a 78-year-old woman who was, fleeing from the conflict place, and the person living with disability. It's a shame. It is indeed a shame. We cannot continue to have it. Put it up there. We cannot continue to have it this way. If you pause to reflect on how much the government spends on trying to resolve some of these conflicts, if you just take your time and do a simple 1+1, put the images at 1+1, you will know that the money will serve a better purpose. Because if the government moves there with troops, the government moves there with relief items, the government moves there. Listen to him. And they're lying out there. Now put the old man's video on. Look, we need to stop the conflict and stop the fight. If you're not united, you cannot have development. You need to be united to have development for yourself and for your people. So if you are not united and all you are interested in is fighting, the government will continue to waste money, as it is the case. Waste money to be able to resolve the conflict, and by the time they finish, other regions and other communities would have gotten their portion of the national cake, and you wouldn't have gotten anything. Stop the violence, stop the conflict. Stop it, please. Call a truce and let peace reign. Please, stop it. Yesterday, I wept when I watched this. And then I paused to ask myself, why? In this 21st century? Why? Why do we do that? What informs us to do these things? Why? I paused to ask a simple question. Why? And the answers aren't forthcoming. Now, yesterday, the Ghana Police Service told us that 8 persons picked up, put before the courts or arraigned before the courts, and their conviction has been transposed to Friday. So I'll share the love letter with you. But first, before that, the PBC also called to give us a love letter for helping them. They tell me now that the PBC is back on the board and that very, very soon they are looking forward to their salaries. 21 months, now 22 months of working without pay. I can just imagine. Now, this is dated the 26th of August 2025. They charged for non-violence during Ablekuma North rerun. The Accra Regional Police Command wishes to update the public that 8 accused persons have been arraigned before the Circuit Court in Accra today. The accused persons are connected with violent incidents during the Ablekuma North Parliamentary rerun held on Friday, the 11th of July 2025. The accused persons are Mohammed Abubakar, 32, a private security officer, Tijani Mahmoud, 38, a driver, Prince Jakpasu, 39, a businessman, Anas Mohammed, 42, an estate developer, Mohammed Hamda, 35, a mechanic, Daku Otibu Samuel, 33, a businessman, Musa Muntari, 46, a station manager, and Ali Said alias Bomba, 43, a businessman. All 8 accused persons have pleaded guilty to charges of conspiracy to commit crime, assault and assault contrary to sections 23(1) of and 84 of the Criminal Offences Act 1960, Act 29. Now, the case has been adjourned to 29th of August, and each accused person was granted bail in the sum of 80,000 Ghana cedis with one surety. The Accra Regional Police Command reiterates its commitment to ensuring justice and maintaining peace and order. We clap for the police. Now, this is signed by Miss Juliana Obeng, Superintendent Juliana Obeng, Head of Public Affairs, Accra Region. We applaud the police for this great work. But while we applaud the police, I'm sure that it is also good to remind the police that political violence and the crime of political violence does not have expiry date. So yesterday when this notice came up, people were talking about Ayawaso West Wogon. People were talking about Etiwa. People were talking about other places, Ododo, many other places. People were talking about the Senya area. They say political crime or political violence crime does not expire. So they sent me to come and tell you, the streets sent me to come and tell you that political violence crime does not expire. So while they applaud you for this, they are also asking you not to be selective in the way justice is administered. Everybody should be equal before the law. And that is why, in terms of equality, the government of the day told us that they will not condone any contractual extension for anybody, whether you be police or immigration or fire service or prisons or military, or whether you be a civil servant, whatever it is, they will not condone it. So what are we hearing about some people lobbying to get contract extensions, some people due for retirement and they are refusing to go? Please, let the retirees go and let the young grow. Please,
let the retirees go and let the young grow. Please, let the retirees go and let the young grow. And speaking of which, the ministries of Interior, the ministry and lawyer Pablo, the agency and Malik Basintale and the Ghana Police Service, they came together yesterday, and we saw what has been called in the past baby police, now community police. I think it is instructive for all of us to let the community police know their place within the security structure and architecture. Because if you don't let them know their place, they would go out there and start pretending and behaving as though they were policemen. And we have seen some before in this country, where people went out and started acting as though they were policemen and trying to arrest people and all of that. So it is imperative for them to be spoken to and for the public to be informed of the limitations that come with their work and the authority that they have been clothed with. It is very, very important. It is good for them to have jobs. It looks cozy for them. But it is important for the public to be told what their duties are and where they can cross and where they cannot cross the line. It's important. That is non-negotiable. It's important. Now, take me to Tema, a place near the Tema community, Tema Polyclinic. They have turned the median into a parking space for heavy-duty trucks. They have turned this place a parking space, and it is not far from TDC. They have turned it. I mean, they keep flowing the pictures and the videos. And those who know Tema know what I'm talking about. It has been turned into a parking space. We cut the tree and we leave the trees there. It's a nuisance, if you ask me. It's a nuisance, if you ask me. So, good morning to our friends at TDC. We are not saying good morning to you so that you die. We are saying good morning to you so that you can earn your keep and do your work as it is. Because this is not the parking space for these trucks. And they are not only Ghanaians, they are foreign nationals who are also plying their trade here. And we want to beg you. We want to beg you. We want to beg you. Please take action for the people of Tema. The median is overgrown with weeds. We see it. But now adding this one to it is a big problem. So please, TDC, good morning. Your office is not far from this place. Please work on it for us. Please work on it for us. Now we'll go to Palugu, but first, I know that the New Patriotic Party has intentions of holding their presidential primaries earlier. And it is an internal contest. And I have said here that until the party returns to its core values and principles that set it up, everything else that is being done will be a fiasco. You can hate me for saying it, you can like me for saying it, but the truth is only one. That until you return to the core principles and core values that set up the New Patriotic Party, ain't going nowhere. Good morning to Daniel Titus Nikwate, Nikwate Titus Glover, former MP. Good morning to you, former minister as well. Now, it is an internal contest. Is that the opportunity, the best opportunity to mudsling and to dirty yourselves and to behave like Atasa? Is that the best opportunity for you to muddy yourselves and behave like Atasa? You cannot do that. And some of the things we hear are very shocking. So some of the things that are being said about each of the candidates from the various camps against each other are things that prior to the 2024 elections, we mentioned them, we spoke about them. We were called liars. We were called propagandists. We were called fabricators. Now those things are being used as arsenals from various camps against each other. And you ask yourself, is that the best way the MPP can prosecute an internal political campaign? This ATASA approach, it will not work. This ATASA approach is not an antidote to bringing you out of opposition. No. You can disagree with somebody without being disagreeable. The way the campaigns are happening, you are disagreeing and being disagreeable at the same time. Name calling, tagging people, and all of that. Why? Can we not have decent politics anymore? And you see, when the elites begin to do that, the people on the streets, they pick a cue from it. The people on the streets, they pick a cue from it, and they do their worst. I have said my 2 cents. Please take me to Palugu, an old story that we did. Osha Gabor read that. Now listen.
Where community lead. Let's now go to the Upper East region, where community leaders in Palugu have urged government to expedite the construction of the multi-purpose dam with no physical development after a colorful sword-cutting ceremony in November 2019. They contend the delay is also impacting agric productivity in the area. A report by Castro Senyala.
The multi-purpose project, estimated at $993 million, according to the government, will be the single largest investment ever made in the northern part of the country. But nearly 5 years after a colorful sword-cutting ceremony, no major work has been done, as the contractor has abandoned the project sites at Krugu, Kubeyu, and Sariba. Heavy-duty equipment and other building materials, which were kept at a temporary camp, have all been moved out of the sites. Assemblyman for Palugu, Moses Adongo, and his predecessor, Paul Abba, noted the government's delay in kickstarting the project is impacting negatively on agricultural production in the regions.
Palugu Dam started not today, but during Nkrumah's era. And it was for that reason that the tomato factory was put up at Palugu, so that when the dam is constructed, whatever produce that we get, they can feed the factory. But the failure of the dam to get constructed actually has dampened the spirits of the people.
The name Palugu is really mentioned, but nothing is showing that there's a dam. And I don't know when the dam will be constructed. A lot of people gave out to farm due to the multi-purpose, and they left their farms. And now they are under distress, because you have no food, you didn't farm, saying that they are coming to construct a dam.
They requested government to address the difficulties that have held back the project. The Upper East Regional Minister, Stephen Yakubu, said government has secured funding and the project is expected to start soon.
It's a project that we all know was going to cost us about $1 billion. And we all know
Sunrise on 3FM, the best in the morning.
In terms of getting this $1 billion in building this. As I speak with you, funding has been acquired, and we are going to start building the solar part of the dam.
The minister stated that the project was a top priority for the government and everything was being done to ensure its smooth implementation.
I will tell the entire Ghanaians that government has not abandoned the Palugu Dam, because it's very dear to the heart of government. And government is doing everything.
Sunrise on 3FM,
to make sure
the
that
best in the morning.
It's realized.
When completed, the dam is expected to store excess water for agricultural activities, generation of electricity, and control the perennial flooding in the 5 northern regions caused by heavy rains and the spillage of the Bagre Dam in neighboring Burkina Faso.
And I don't need to tell you the effect of the people up there not having the farms. You heard them. Some people gave up their houses and their farms because they wanted the public good. May I remind all of us that we spent, $12 million on this project, and yet we have nothing to show for it. May I remind you that we were told that this is supposed to be a flagship project that had been completed. May I remind you? But just as the new government has gone back to the Pokwasi Nsawam Road to construct it, I'm told the contractor is Maripoma, and they are doing work speedily and steadily. I pray that the government of the Republic of Ghana, Excellency President John Dramani Mahama, please attend to the people up there, because it's painful and sad to see people spend time to dig the ground or till the dirt, spend time to plant the seeds, spend time to nurture it and water it, and not harvest anything as soon as the dam is opened. It is so painful. I work with a young man here called Frederick Kuzotiani. He comes from that area. And every now and then, we are always talking about this. 62's Donolo also talks to me about this. I have a lot of fans or people who watch Johnny's Bites, people who enjoy what we do, and they come to you and they are near tears. Some actually weep before you. Their farms are destroyed. They cannot walk in the water. They have to use canoes because there are snakes, serpents in the water. And to think that people sacrificed their homes, ancestral homes were sacrificed for this project. But what we chose to do was to politicize it. Shamefully, we politicized it. Shamefully, we politicized it. And you look at some of the monies that have been mentioned on the political space, that, I did this, I sponsored this, I sponsored that. Is that what the political law calls treating? Is that what they call treating? But we treat it as a campaign message. Mm-hmm. You listen to what's happening at the Public Accounts Committee. You're listening to some of the monies. You listen to some of the contracts, and you ask yourself, so we have all this, and we still went to the IMF to go and do what exactly? Do we think about our country? Do we pause to think about our country and the future of our country? I've always said that people who are 70 and above, some 60 and above, when they speak about the state called Ghana, they speak about it with a lot of nostalgia because of how well the country was run then. Train system, bus system, good roads. They had, comfort, and even at the university level, they were being paid to go to school and all. They speak about it with a lot of pride and nostalgia. Today, what is happening to us? Did that generation fail us? Or did that generation just stand and stare? Pretended not to be aware, so that the next generation will be in despair? I'm only asking my questions. Now, take me to Kolebu. That's our final thing. Abiam, take me to Kolebu. Just be showing the things. I got a distress message from a young man who is on admission, or who was on admission, not on admission now. And he showed me the infusion. When you talk about it, you are told that you have been marked. These are the important things to mark. But people are not interested. They politicize everything in this country. Health, education, energy, the economy and security. They politicize everything. This is supposed to be on, a pole. But it's on the bed. This is supposed to be on a pole so that the water can come down, or whatever liquid or solution is, it can come down. But it's on a pole. It's on a pole. It's supposed to be on a pole. It's on the bed. Show me the bed sheet. Look at the stained bed sheet that was given to the young man to lie on. Look at the stained bed sheet at our our biggest tertiary hospital in the Republic of Ghana. Look at the stained bed sheet that was given to the gentleman, as if it's not been washed. As if Kolebu laundry no longer exists. It's a shame. It's a very, 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 very big shame. And he tells me that, look, some patients were made to use the staircase because the elevator will work for the next minute it doesn't work. Then he says that, look, it's just one elevator that is functional and then it's not reliable. So he was nearly made to use the staircase after a surgery and when he was still in pain. Some surgeries were cancelled because the elevators weren't working. Some rescheduled, had also delayed. Now, constant water supply. It's a problem. Yet you have people living around Kolebu and Latebio, Koshi and Mamprobi who have sunk boreholes in their homes. They have mechanized those boreholes. It's the same area. And they have constant supply of water. If Ghana Water Company ever has a problem. So what's going on? Now you know that if you don't have constant supply, your washrooms will be in trouble. Yeah? So you went to the hospital. No, put that in there. So you went to the hospital to go and seek medical help. No, I want the infusion. You went to the hospital to go and seek medical help. But you end up coming home with infections. And it's not just Kolebu. Go to any of our public-owned facilities. That's why people choose to go to private entities where nobody will come and say, we have marked them, instead of marking the things that they are supposed to be marking. Commander Match Time, Atasa. We need to be serious in this country. The health minister told me that the last time we tried to fix some of these things was more than 10 years ago. Was more than 10 years ago. More than 10 years ago. We know about it. We are only interested in what will go into our pockets. And we see family and friends die. There was a nurse who raised a very critical point. That's my final point, and we'll wrap up. Come to me, Abiam. He raised a very critical point. That why is it that when they bring a fellow nurse or a fellow doctor's relative to a facility, they want to quickly rush there and come and support to take care of their relatives? Do they trust the system that they work in? A nurse asked that question on social media. She said, let's assume that I am Sixtus's brother. And then Sixtus is on admission. And Sixtus is the doctor. Right? And Abiam is my brother, who is also a doctor. Abiam will make all efforts to want to come to the facility, if it's a state facility, to want to come and assist. It is from a nurse's own mouth, it's not from me. Same for nurses, same for whatever. Question is, do we trust the system we are running? If we honestly do not trust the system we are running, there is something wrong with it. We have to fix the system. We don't have to have emotional outbursts. No. Emotional outbursts, it doesn't go anywhere. You have to fix the system. When the system is fixed, everybody will fall in line. You think that if I had gone to a private hospital, the young man had gone to a private hospital, if he can afford it, he will have his infusion lying on the bed by his side when it's supposed to be hanging, and then his hands should be down there so that the infusion will be. Do you think that he will feel comfortable coming to a public hospital? Ask yourself that question. Ask yourself that question. Here ends my sermon. Have a good morning. Please call me 055-924-2717 and 055-691-0154. Good morning.
Yes, next. Hey, Nadia Benson,
Me didn't tum. Mr. Femi Kakalika, just call me cockroach. Now, Mr. Femi once now. Hey, that's you. Improve car. Yeah. Captain Mosquito, double the accent. Me did this sasso spray. Mr. Femi sasso quell. Yeah, go to my sasso.
Ready for school?
Yes!
My champs, they use a lot of energy at school. I know because imagine the energy they may have used up to return home this transformed every day.
Your champs need nourishment and energy. Give them the Milo Energy at breakfast, now with vitamin D that supports energy release to help their daily performance. Milo, energy to go further. This advert is FDA approved.
The Nido or Batampa promo is back again. Yes, here's your chance to win a fully paid family getaway in Nido's Batampa More promo. Look inside your Nido
We have cash out, goes with the short code, *439#. And please increase the number of tickets you have after you've dialed. You become one of those lucky winners. Choose option 2 as many times as you can. Become one of those lucky winners by following the prompt. Because when you dial *439#, you're going to get that prompt. That's going to ask you the number of tickets, etc. And then you have to follow the prompt. Okay, increase the number of tickets. When we do the draws, then you also get to know. Bruce Foko is already joined. Good morning to you, Bruce. It's been a while. Let me say good morning to Nasser Ejin, is the president of the Central University Law School, SRC. I'm wishing you all the best for the day, Nasser Ejin. Nasser Ejin, president of the Central University Law School Union, or SRC. And a number of you have joined us already, and I'm already seeing you. So Money is there already mentioning people. Andy Dusty, not too sure whether it's the same Andy Dusty. I'm not sure it's him. So Ijeoma, I've seen you as well. Roger, Agongo Roger, good morning to you. Chris Euku, Prince Daniel York, Zillis Dwayne, Charles Thompson, they're all joining us from the UK. Albert Mensa, Albany, New York. And please make sure Albert Kwesi Mensa is joining us from the UK, so the US, Albany, New York. Make sure that we have a conversation right. And we told you towards the end, we'll be talking about the annual problems that we tend to encounter up north due to the spillage of the Bagre Dam. And the Bagre Dam really is located in neighboring Burkina Faso, but each year we know that they have to open the gates because of overflows. What do you make of it, knowing that certainly we'll be having difficulties? Queen War, or Mama War of the Asogli States, Queen War III, wishing you all the best for the day as well. Prince Henry has joined us. Please share the stream. Let's have Na Afitaki. Good morning to you as well. Yemole Yemo, for all who tend to join us, we're grateful. Donald, I see you. And make sure that we have some great yes to I see you as well. And so, but our first discussion will be mainly focused on the MPP, Ghana's biggest opposition party. Indeed, just about 8 months ago, they were in power before, by the 9th month previously, on December 7, 2024, losing the massive election. And they've been trying to get their loins, reorganize themselves, and foremostly after those delegates conference that was put together by the National Executive at the University of Ghana. Now they are gearing themselves up for the December presidential primaries, and we're focusing on that because amid all that, a number of interventions have been made by the National Executive Council and as National Executive Committee of the party, extending some amnesty to individuals who had left the party because they were disgruntled, or some dismembered themselves for flouting the key constitutional articles. Now, what does it mean? Are we going to have individuals returning as part of the rebuilding process? Because at the heart of the discussion in itself is when you monitor social media, apart from what is also posted and then reported by main news outlets like Media General with our subsidiaries, as well as others right here in Ghana, as well as elsewhere in the world, we've had, look, it looks like trade-offs, tirades being traded and jabs being thrown at each other. What has now become the focus is that there are 10 sins of 3 of the leading candidates in that presidential primary, i.e. Brian Champong, to both Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, vice president at the time for Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, and then subsequently the presidential candidate. And then Kenny Japan also has his 10 sins all coming up. If you do a thorough assessment of the 10 sins of these individuals, there were key issues that came up in terms of the opinion polls, what had been discussed even right here in the mainstream media as well. So we want to discuss that because as a formidable opposition party, if they get their act right, they also tend to put the governing party and then the government on its toes. All right, so there are key issues to discuss. Helping us do the discussions, I see you, Diane Desiree or Desire, and Jabuntie Zato is here, Dr. Joseph, Dr. Joshua Jabuntie Zato has his constituency, Sisala East. Good morning to you, Sisala East constituent.
Good morning, Roland.
Okay. Sandwiching the two of them, or being sandwiched, is lawyer Kuto, is also a legal practitioner, a member of the VRA board. So he's a big man. How are you? You're well?
Yeah, by God's grace.
Great. I love your tie.
Thank you.
Is it from the US? Because a similar one a friend gave me from the US.
France.
From France, okay. Yeah. All right. And then we missed him last week. He had to go on a business trip to make sure that he gets his, because as he's talking, it means that the politicians will not give him contracts. He's never had state contract before, so he has to go and look for more business partners. I see you, Yael February, on our stream as well. I chair Ajete as well, and Mr. Hosu, I see you. Solomon Owusu is back. Good morning to Solo.
Good morning, Ro. It's good to be back.
Yeah,
and to see you.
Yeah, thank you as well. We had been in communication. Absolutely. Even while you were away. Yes. It's good as well. We missed you because Jabuntie Zato had a field day for 7 days.
Hey.
From TV3, he moved to Peace FM, UTV, all around.
What doing about my business?
Please, leave me out of this one. And we know the leading candidates, so we'll just surprise you. There's been an amnesty, and we know all this is happening alongside all the things that are happening. The Get Connected leading individual, Ken Ohinie Japan, former member of parliament for Asin Central, is picking his nomination forms today. You know, the interesting thing about all the nomination forms that are picked for all our presidential candidates, whether it's MPP, NDC, or whatever you can think about, is they are picked by groups, sometimes youth groups, etc. How they get to fund it, we don't know, you know. So it's an interesting part of it. And Dr. Zato, presidential primaries, MPP, what do you make of it as well? And all the things that have been going on. Later, I'll put up the 10 sins, etc., and then we'll see what the assessment. I don't know why it came up, but what are your observations so far about the primaries or the talk?
Thank you very much, and good morning to you and to our cherished listeners. It's always a pleasure to come to them every Wednesday morning and do it for God and country. Sometimes if you look at political parties very well, there's a popular saying that they seems to be better, it's matter when they are in opposition than when they are in government. Political parties try to go back to their values and to their virtues and to their ideologies, mostly in opposition than in government, because sometimes government, the day-to-day issues of statesmanship, of governing, box you down, and then it becomes kind of a muddling through. You are ruling from one day to another, you are ruling from crisis to crisis, and you deal them. There. So you want to see that. Secondly, political parties are very vulnerable, or most vulnerable, when they engage in internal party elections. That is where you see how vulnerable they are. Because internal party elections are sometimes like a fight within a family, fighting among loved ones. So it can be very piercing, it can be very dangerous, and it's very, 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 very vulnerable at that time. And so if you look at almost all the things that happen to political parties, sometimes, even whenever a political party breaks up or people leave to join, it happens as a result of internal elections. So political parties, so we must understand that it is. And it happens to all political parties. If you go back to our history, even with this current republic, I remember when President Jerry John Rawlings was leaving, then there was almost this funka, whatever fights, all things go on. And from that time up to date, whenever political parties lose power and then they are trying to restructure, some of these things happening. So there have been massive or major departures. In the case of the NDC, we could talk about the Obeda Samoa, the Nanakono Dajima Rollison, the Guzitanos. We've seen it happen. In the case of the MPP right now, biggest being Honorable Alan Chamante, we've seen happen. So these things have happened before, and they are also happening along all political lines. So let's just understand that political parties, if they ever needed prayers, I think it will be during their internal elections. Then secondly, do you look at what the NPP has tried to do after they lost the elections? Data upon data and research upon research has told them that, and told Ghanaians, because if you read it, that a lot of NPP members felt disenfranchised and felt not included in the last election, and they stayed home. That's a fact. So as a party, what then do you do when you have been told, or when you realize that this has happened? You try to re-engage and re-involve them. And the first thing the NPP did, look, was to say, we are open to change. We are open to reforms. It's a clean sheet. Come to us with any suggestion whatsoever that you have, that you want to happen. And I think the people who belong to the party and people who love the party did that. They took that opportunity. They submitted memoranda. They went there, and then plus all these things, and then they put it together and they send it back to the same people to say, look, this is what you claim. So one, if you claim you love the NPP, then you should have participated in this process. My problem right now with some people is that when there's a problem and you refuse to be part of the solution, and you only celebrate being on the and criticizing, it doesn't move the ball forward. It doesn't move the ball up.
I don't understand. Who are you referring to?
I'm talking to people who find opportunities and refuse to act, and then only celebrate criticizing. So I was happy that the party did that.
You mean there are some people on the sidelines?
I'm just saying that it's important that whenever there's an opportunity to do good work, that people should invest in it and help to make the process better. They did that. And one of the biggest results of that was to say that, look, let's add more people. Again, this is one of the times I'm going to say, adopt the umbrella thing. Whenever people are setting up tents, bigger tents, whenever people are using umbrellas to bring more people, it's a good thing, especially in democracy. Democracy are numbers. So if the idea is that, look, we have, our delegates were about 3,000, or your delegates were about 30,000, 40,000, you're saying, look, let's increase that by another 50%. That is good. Whenever you are bringing more people, you see, one of the biggest problems of corruption in this country starts with the political parties and their delegate system. If you really want to fight corruption in this country, you must go back and look at how political parties elect their leaders. You can go to a constituency that has about 50, 60, or 70,000 voters, and the delegates are just about 1,000. That means that eventually established candidates, well-resourced candidates, can easily, for want of a word, bribe their way through. That means that special interests can easily hijack some candidates and break their way through. When these delegates now win, the question is they have to pay back what they've done. So again, any political party that is opening up, that is expanding access, that is bringing in more people. I want to see a period where we will get in this country where all party members of political parties will become automatic what? Delegates, where all party members can then vote to elect their parliamentary candidates, their presidential candidates, and their national candidates. In that case, with the numbers so huge, because if you think that almost the NDC and AP have conservatively about 3.5 to 3.5 million votes each, if all these people can vote to elect their leaders, then the situation where incumbency can be abused is removed. The situation where bribery can be used is abused. The situation where one person can hijack that party can be removed. So I'm praying for that. But for now, it's very difficult for the NDP. They are going through the difficult thing. And I just think that the good thing is that they've done this before. They've been here before. All political parties have been here before. I think that they have the experience and the expertise to go through this bet. It's not easy. And if NDP ever needed prayers, this is what now they need it. This is when they need it.
Okay. Wanda, the NDC has gone through before, and he made references to the Fonka period. Emerging out of that, those who had to come back to the party, there were splinter groups. There even, and a great example is NSO Bempa, aka Abuapopon, who even had to join the MPP subsequently as well. So he says these are difficult times, but the precedent is there. Examples with the splinter periods of reform, post-2000, and then subsequently, the NDC is back together, stronger than ever. So their period will come. Same observations. What do you say?
Thank you very much. Good morning to you, my former lecturer, Dr. Zato.
Yeah, this is the second time you're emphasizing.
He has never paid school fees yet. Very important.
And then good morning to Uncle Solo. I must say that the MPP have worked this part before.
I don't understand.
You see, after the 2007 primaries, where you had about the 17 aspirants, and that kind of led to their defeat in 2008, they made some reforms. You remember? And one of the reforms that they did was the introduction of the superdelegates conference. If you look at that reform, it was geared towards just one thing, to kind of cure having a lot of aspirants, like what happened in 2007. And that kind of gave Nanado the edge. And if you're a political actor in this country, you know that that particular reform was geared towards pushing one ambition. That was the Nanado ambition, to become president of Ghana. That's what I'm saying. The MPP has worked this work before. So we must check these reforms that they are doing. We must really check and see what are they trying to push. Because we've seen it before. You see that now they've gone back to revoke or to take out the superdelegate conference after the Nanado era. So if you are coming with reform, it should be reform that will stand the test of time. That is why laws are made. Policies are made. You don't make reforms or laws just because of an agenda. That's what I'm saying. They've worked this part before.
Wonder, do I get it that you're saying the first reform post-2007, making entry into the main election in 2008, was more bias and agenda-based?
Yes.
And you're also linking it to the current one, also more bias and agenda-based?
I'll tell you. Look,
I see.
I've seen a document by William Yamwa. Look, I believe he's the secretary to the Presidential Election Committee, William Yamwa. Yes, the MPP.
Is Zato's friend, I think.
Oh, really? I won't be surprised. And it lists the category of persons who will now be part of their album, the voters' album, going to the election. And if you look at that list very well, it says that only the TESCOM president will have a vote. Only the TESCOM president and the national coordinator for TESCOM has a vote. This is a party that is going under reform to expand its base. The TESCOM vice president will not have a vote. The TESCOM secretary will not have a vote. The TESCOM organizer will not have a vote. And this is a party that talks about literacy, that talks about student activism, that talks about the youth, and has denied all these people votes. Check the document. Only the TESCOM president.
But this was put to a vote at the conference that was convened. There was a committee in place. They fine-tuned it, shortlisted, and they decided to put this to a vote.
Some reforms were put to vote, and it was shut down. For example, the age limit for the youth voting for the contesting as national organizers. You understand? At 35, it was shut down. I'm saying that this proposal, it was a proposal that was sent to the Congress. We must ask ourselves: did they include the TESCOM secretary and it was voted on? No. Did it included the TESCOM vice president? No. And this is worrying as a youth. Even though I'm not a member of the MPP, it's worrying. So if you're a member of the MPP, you're on campus as a TESCOM person. If you're a TESCOM secretary, the MPP does not regard you as somebody who has a vote. If you're a TESCOM vice president, you are not regarded as somebody who has a vote. So it's worrying. And I'm saying that the MPP have to look at this going forward. It's very, very important. And the essence of all of this is monetization. They want to expand their base so that if you want to use money, you will not succeed. And if you look at Brian Champion's campaign so far, every day, I've given constituency, I'm the one who have contributed huge amount to constituency. So his policy is about money to constituencies. I'm saying Brian Champion's policy so far is that he has bought pickups, he has given money. There's no policy from him. And I'm saying that the purpose of this kind of album is to expand the base so that if you want to use money, it will defeat that. That's why I'm worried that the TESCOM secretary for Lagos, for example, will not have a vote. The TESCOM vice president will not have a vote. So the MPP should really consider this policy properly so that it can stand the test of time. You understand? And that's why I reference the superdelegate conference that they did up post 2007. They shouldn't come back and annul all of this, just like how it happened as far as post the 2007 this thing is concerned. Thank you.
Okay, so at the end of the day, do you think that those things you cite perhaps also could be lessons they've learned from the NDC, even though this is the second time running, they are trying to shake up the system and undertake major reforms? Perhaps they could be learning from the NDC, because the NDC has been successful at that post-2016? Because there was the Kwesi Bochwe reports.
Yes. If they will learn, they should learn well.
Yeah?
There's nothing wrong to learn, but you learn well. Learn well. That's the point.
But they are learning. They've done committee reports. There's Oseche Mensa Bonsu also has one. We're told for Ashanti.
How some segment of their youth base have been put aside. You see, when President Mahama started making appointments, the country were excited that the youth have been involved, and even the MPP members say, and this is a party to join, and this is a party to join, and all of that. So if they are learning, they should learn well, so that one day, after some 30 years, they come to power, the youth base will be given major appointments. But my worry is that if today, even in opposition, they are putting them aside, what's the guarantee that when they come to power, they will consider these people? That is my source of worry. Hold on. So if the people want to learn, there's no problem. I will learn it. They might be all learn, but they must learn well.
They must learn well.
They must learn well.
And that is not the first time they're undertaking reforms and shake-ups.
Yeah, I gave you the post 2007 one, the Superdelegates Conference. They've come back to revoke it in the last conference. So it's worrying. So if you want to learn well, you must learn well.
If you want to learn, you must learn well. Lawyer Kuto there. But we have Professor Smart Sapon. Professor Smart Sapon, you've joined us, right? Okay.
Roland.
Okay, great. So we'll bring you into the conversation when we have everything set. But Solomon, it's a mixed bag of all issues. So it's been, for me, based on observation, I think it's been very systematic.
Yeah, it was.
And deliberate.
Sure.
So, okay, so it's been very systematic, in my opinion, and deliberate. I don't know what you think, because after losing the election, they've had a number of committees in place. There are reports that have been cited in terms of bits, parts, and pieces. People have reacted, whether it could be Davis Opoku or OPK and etc. But at the end of the day, there seemed to be a deliberate and intentional attempt to be able to strengthen the base, bring people on board, to the point that even people like you, now you've been included in amnesties and things like that, even though they say for you, you have to then apply. You can't contest leading positions, etc. Somebody will ask, is this not a good thing? Your observations so far.
Roland, let me greet your viewers and let me say that Zato can never be careful unless the matter is involving the MPP. This morning, he has turned into a religious pastor. He said you should pray for the MPP. When the matter is nationalistic, he will never call for prayer for the country.
I don't understand.
But when it has to do with the MPP, he says we should pray for the MPP. Why must we pray for the MPP? A party that is telling us that all these leaders that want to lead us are sinners. We are doing sinning competition, a sinners party. And take me to Romans 6:23, and let's discuss this matter so that we know what we are dealing with. Whether or not the one that created this world even believes in what they are doing. It says, Romans 6:23, that for the wages of sin is what? Death.
But the gift of life is, let me read it for you.
Absolutely.
Romans 6:23.
Yes.
For the wages of sin is death.
Absolutely.
But the gift of life is eternal life.
Fantastic.
In Christ Jesus our Lord. What has that got to do with the MPP?
So the people are telling us, from Baumia's camp, from Ken's camp, from Brian's camp, all of them are telling us that those that want to lead the party have sinned. And when you read Romans 6:23, it doesn't talk about sins. It talks about sin. So if a single sin is leading to death, then how much more 10 sins, 16 sins, 24 sins?
Oh, so how can you make
that is what we are dealing with, Roland. Now, so amongst them, they are going to give us someone who is a sinner, that the country must vote for that sinner to lead this country into prosperity. How do you judge?
Brian Champon,
Dr.
Mahmoud
They are telling us,
Kenny Japan, sinners.
Is good. I was here with you when we were discussing the hotel matter. The Labadi Beach, were you not here?
I was also here.
Now the MPP members that were on set, we defended it with their blood. Now it's a sin. They are saying this is one of the sins. And that a lady, I thought ladies were not throwing sabos. Dr. Wanekwia Amwaku also says that the time that they needed to discuss or project Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, they were using it to as it were defend a bogus deal that Brian was involved. And Brian and his team said, hey, wait a minute. We were not the only one that sinned. And that you, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, rise, meant for an individual's business, you stole it and gave it to people who were fasting. So it's your sin. And that the PDS that we spoke of, that it was a bogus decision, it was something that was just chop. Your boss, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, was involved. And they say, hey, hold on. you want to leave Kennedy out of this? Don't leave him out. He has also sinned. As for him, he called for the elimination of Evers and gas. He has been taking all contracts. So is that the party? And among these three, one of them is going to be the leader of the party. And you are telling me that the country must look unconcerned whilst they give us a sinner? No way, we cannot allow that.
So you're saying your classification of them as sinners is because of the...
I have not classified anybody as sinners. They themselves have classified themselves as sinners, and they have identified. There's a difference between giving a verbal rendition. This one, they have categorically, they have put it on the paper, and they have enumerated. So clear. So it's not me who is calling them a sinners party. Maybe if they had come and said, once I was a sinner, saved by grace. Now they say, no, these people are sinners. But let's go into the matter. You see, after the elections, first of all, this whole idea of trying to expand their electoral college.
It's a good thing.
It's a hoax. It's a hoax. It's nothing to write.
Hoax?
It's just to create the impression that they are doing something. They are not doing anything. The total number of people they want to add up will not amount to anything closer to 10,000. Already they have about close to almost 200,000 delegates in the album. They took part in the selection of the flag bearer in the last elections. So what has changed? And it is not just a matter of expanding the register. It's a matter of who is leading the party, the kind of ideas and principles, how the people of this country view the person. Roland, you would agree with me that in 1998, when I was in the MPP, in that famous Sunyani Congress, less than 2,000 delegates went and elected J. Kufuor. Did he not win election in 2000?
He did.
So it doesn't matter whether you are expanding it to 1 million or...
Well, they say the population has changed. The demographic is different.
So there is nothing different. If you expand a delegate system and the issues that led to your electoral defeat, how is the expansion of this delegate system going to erase from the minds of the Ghanaian that indeed Nana Akufo-Addo used $97 million together with Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia and all those in there to dig a hole? How is this going to erase that perception? Roland, how is it? And has it struck you that President John Dramani Mahama is currently in Singapore? When he got to Japan, there is a financing company called Degas, Japanese company, that is saying that they are going to invest $100 million over a period of 4 years. Get the figures right.
Degas.
Our president traveled 22 hours by air. So risky to go to Japan, to go and negotiate for a company to come and invest $100 million into the economy of this country. Now we have a president called Nana Akufo-Addo, ably supported by Mahmoud Bawumia, who had that almost $100 million in this country. They could not see the need to invest that money into agriculture, but they rather use it to dig a hole.
So you are saying those are other sins?
How is this going to erase from the people's minds so that they will vote for you because you have expanded your delegate system? How is it, or how is your expansion of your delegate system going to erase from the minds of the people that indeed the country called Ghana went for a loan of $750 million from Afri-Exim Bank to finish Pokwase in Sawam Road, to finish Swami Interchange, to finish Kwabenya Road. Money is finished, road not completed. How is it your expansion going to erase from the mind?
Money is finished, road not completed.
That is why we have that terrible situation there. And I don't know what the Attorney General and this administration is doing. That, hey, they must be very careful. The people of this country voted for a cause. They voted that you have promised them of Operation Recover or Loot. We are done with the funeral. The tears are over.
They should come back to business?
Come back to business. We have to come back. It is non-negotiable. How is it that the national service is still pending? 548 million. We have not dealt with it. Well, it's not a child's play. Nobody must take it for granted. How is it that someone can use $15 million to go and cook wache and we have not attended to it? I'm talking about the Alternative All Africa Games. So you expanding your delegate system does not mean anything. In any case, you say you are doing top-down. When they did the Ashanti Region report, which is the true report of the MPP anyway.
The Ashanti Region report?
Yes, that is
true report of the MPP.
And hurriedly put up.
How do you draw those conclusions?
That is the breadbasket of the party. If the Ashanti Region finds its formula, then the party is on course. And now it is disintegrated. The party said, look, arrogance of power. Corruption. They themselves were stating the issues that led to their defeat. Arrogance of power, corruption, the way and manner they bought or procured elections, and how they treated Mr. Lanchemante horribly. In fact, that was one of the key issues that led to their defeat. How is expanding this delegate system going to raise this in the minds of the people of this country so that they will look forward and vote for you? There is nothing that is going to happen to this. It is just a charade. And moreover, the car that got crashed, the last time I told you, the car is parked at Apega. Yesterday I saw it at Apega. The MPP car is still lying there.
And these reforms, Solomon Owusu, are supposed to make sure that the car is repaired or rehabilitated.
They are looking for a driver.
Brought back to
they are looking for a driver. They are not looking for
put the amnesty thing on.
They are looking for.
Because the reason why they want people like you to be
coming. For the amnesty, I don't want you to even go there. First of all, read the amnesty letter for us, and let's go. And let me tell you why they put up that letter.
Oh, yeah.
Nothing sincere about
Solo,
it.
You may be joking. You must be joking.
About of people. Look, you read it. Like you put it there. Let's go into it, and let me tell you why they brought that amnesty letter. You have it. So check the date that they
registration of additional delegate. Okay,
let's go through the date. When did they release it?
So the amnesty report is indicating
the amnesty letter.
Yes.
Give me the date they released it.
It's indicating that people like you need to return.
I want you to start from when the date that they issued this document is on the screen. I saw the 16th of August 2025. Is that not the case? Now, the 16th of August 2025 was a beautiful Saturday. They decided to release this letter on a beautiful Saturday. And I'll show you why that letter came on Saturday. Now, if you read the opening paragraph of their own release, they said at an emergency meeting of the National Council of the party on the 25th of July 2025. Is that not the case? Now, Roland, you only undertake an emergency meeting to discuss emergency matters, to come up with emergency solutions, and release it immediately to deal with the matter. You go and hold a meeting on the 25th of July 2025. You classify this as an emergency meeting. Now, one of the emergency issues you discussed was how to bring back members that had left. You waited for 23 solid days before you released that outcome. What makes it an emergency meeting?
Why not?
And they did so because Alan Chemantin, the band to beat in 2028, had done a pre-recorded interview with Sandra Babu Boateng on his future political plans. Now, we were going to air the entire piece on Saturday, the 16th of August 2025, to the entire world.
Say this again.
Yes, Alan Chemantin had done an interview with Sandra Babu Boateng about his future political rendition, how he's going to behave going forward. Now, in the interview, we're going to air it fully on the 16th of August 2025. So we started sharing excerpts of that interview. So in the excerpts, there was a question that was asked, what will be your political future going forward? So he answered that question. Then these MPP people passed back, did their research, and realized that the answer to his political future was that he was going to contest in election 2020.
So you must be lying.
So that's what I'm telling you. I'm giving you the background. People do not know. So immediately on a Saturday that people were grieving, people were mourning, the MPP people found laptops on a Saturday, went to office, typed and released it. Bute signed it that, amnesty, you have granted amnesty. Just to create the impression in the minds of people that, we are
but Zato is shaking his head, says you are lying.
I'm giving it, but he understands it. He will only pretend. That's why today he says he's a religious person. I don't want him to come and say anything otherwise. He said we should pray. He should remain at the prayer level. We are not in prayer mood. We are dealing with the issues as it is. Then they realized that, no, we have to issue a statement so that it will convince the millions of people that follow Mr. Lanchemante to think that, no, now all is well, they should go back. Then they shot themselves in the foot by also exposing themselves in the release.
So this is deliberate?
Deliberate, but at the end of the day...
Because he says that, let me just apprise by you. We'll put it on the screen when it's possible. We hereby serve notice that this directive lifts all such suspension. And these suspensions are for members, whether it's for disciplinary cases, etc. And then he says that members who have forfeited their membership are required to submit a formal application.
So I am supposed to submit a formal application.
I don't know. Why? No, who are you?
According to them, and look, let me assure them, or let me tell them that when we decided to move with the movement, we were very mindful of Article 3H that talk of the MDP Constitution that talk about forfeiture. And so, what are we talking about here? You spoke, and I'm speaking, and you are talking about time. You prayed. I am not praying. We are doing different matters. So they are saying that I should reapply to enter or to be accepted.
Why not?
Why must I do that? When I was clearing my mind, when I was leaving the MPP. In any case, those that are even pushing this agenda, that Alan Tremanti, Solomon Owusu, Hobson, and all those movement members that left are not welcome back, are people coming from Baumia's camp. So you, Baumia camp, you don't even accept people coming into your camp. But who told them that you are ready to come back to the MPP? We left the MPP when the MPP was in power.
You will not go back?
What are we going to do? Our political parties in the offing. It is coming live and clear. And let me correct an erroneous impression that you created, that the MPP has a base of 3 million. No political party in this country has membership of 3 million. There is no data that supports it. And
it's a voting pattern, is that not?
So they are not your members. Because they are not offered any alternative, they tend to vote for you. If you go to the two political parties, the MPP database, the only people recognized are the delegates who are not more than 200,000. So don't allow anybody to deceive your minds. Anytime I hear them that 2 million of our members did not vote, did you count them that they did not come out to vote or what? How did you know that the 2 million people, the so-called 2 million people that did not vote, were not members that supported Alan Chebati, and they said, after all, we are not even voting, even anybody that was...
Let me go to Smart Sample.
So what are we talking about here? So please...
They said come back. You are here saying what we are talking about.
They have to come back to us. We are bringing a political party. Don't let us play a second fiddle. I'm saying our political party is not going to play any second fiddle to any political party in this country, and that we must be treated equally. We must rather grant them amnesty. To be talking to us.
You rather will grant them amnesty.
If you have wronged them, it is not right for us to grant them amnesty.
You are a pollster who tends to, and researcher who tends to watch the demographics, their behavior in terms of demographic and then behavior, etc. Now, if that is the case, you will find that maybe people of the movement for change and their kind are only disgruntled. And so, in my opinion, shouldn't that be the reason why this opportunity that has been given to them by the leadership of the MPP should be taken hook, line, and sinker? Really, a reprieve really that has been given to them. What do you say?
Yeah, Roland, good morning. It's been insightful conversation so far, and a good morning to our cherished viewers. Let me start with the movement for change.
Prof.
So I am
Prof.
of the view, very
Prof.
candid view. Yes. Yes.
Please go back a bit on so that let's see your chest. So that we can take it fully.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you, Roland.
Okay.
Yes. So I am of the view that
and a number of inferences made since now being labeled for all the leading. Indeed, they are the leading candidates. And a number of inferences made since now being labeled for all the leading. Okay. I think all of us took notice of the jab to Solo, but please go ahead.
Oh, it wasn't a jab on many occasions. In 10, the occasion where a good number of the student executives get opportunity to vote is when they are doing the regional level youth organizer elections, and even that, not all tertiary institutions in 10 get to have their executives represented and vote. They select a certain number. In Ashanti region where I work, they usually select 5 institutions, and 3 executives each from those 5 institutions will come and vote. So we have over more than 30, 40 tertiary institutions in Ashanti. They select about 5, and even with the selected 5, not all the executives, the president, the WUCOM Women's Commissioner, and then the secretary, they get to vote. When it gets to the National Youth Organizer, still not all tertiary institutions that have 10, but selected. And from the selected, only the presidents do vote. They go as delegates, only the presidents. And then when it gets to the national, presidential, and co, only the president again that votes. And so this expansion, in my view, perhaps it's a modified version of what the NDC does.
Okay.
Now, if there are 40 tertiary institutions in my region, Ashanti region, all the 40 tertiary institutions are going to have their presidents appear and vote. What it means is that comparatively, instead of 3 times 5, 15 people voting in the case of 10, we will have all the 40, 1 each, so 40. So it's an expansion, a modified version of what the tertiary
students in NDC do offer. And I think we would want to allow the students enter into politics more gradually than wholesale. You know, maturity is both sides. They need the academic maturity, the moral maturity, and they must assimilate into the politics rather gradually. If not, they lose the learning curve from their elders in the party. So,
Professor Smart Sapong, are you saying student voting, making that conscious decision as to who gives them better messages and a future for their political party, and the decision thereof in relation to the choices they have to make at their national conferences or congresses, would have to be a gradual process when they are plus 18?
In fact, I'm trying to compare the standard we have. In fact, here in Ghana, with all due respect to other smaller parties, the standard is NDC and MPP.
Okay.
And I'm saying if MPP calls this one expansion, it's an expansion compared to the standard, to their counterpart.
Okay.
And that the NDC in the Ashanti region, the student front, when it gets to the regional youth organizer, they submit 3 from 5 selected institutions. What it means is that in Ashanti region, where we have College of Education, nursing training, universities, in excess of 30, 40, not all the tertiary institutions get a representation on the delegates list. They select 5. And even the 5, not all executives in the 5. So what I'm saying to my brother is that it's like a modified version of what the team does. And that this is even, in terms of numerical representation of our students, higher than what. So the two standards compare to each other, and I think we can allow the current expansion to be.
This one is an expansion of the current threshold or the indicator by the NDC, right? So it's even better. Now, as we try to wrap up on your point, which I'll ask Zato, I'm just looking at the scenes, and it's become, we even have videos to those effects, and there have been all the camps enumerating the sins of each other. And of course, I remember in 2023, Gaji, thank you for bringing Kenny Japan. How you bring him again for us to have those instructions. 10 sins of Kenny Japan, and they started off even from 2017 or 2012. Sorry, there's December 28. There's January 28 up to December, and then they round it off from 2012, 2014, 2016, 17, 19. Then they go on till 21 as well. And then there's also Brian Champol, 10 sins. Everything became, they said he instigated Ken Must Go, buying hotels and everything else. And then also, there's also one for Baumia. It's even, his cry is even 16. Then they have the Saints one also as well. 10 Saints of Saint Baumia. And after this, they are not done. You go on social media, key individuals, whether they are females or males, who are spokespersons for these leading candidates, throwing jabs at each other, almost very vulgar in the tone of the language and very insulting. How does that resonate with the rank and file, that is, those who are core members, core voters, sympathizers, maybe you call it quote-unquote fans, and those who are on the sidelines in this rebuilding process?
Yes. So in Akan, we say, when you create the opportunity, everybody, including uninvited people, do enter if you create the opportunity. So it appears that the leaders or the party or the aspirants or their followers are creating a very conducive opportunity for well and unwell wishes to all join. It makes politics so interesting. So it could even be that this litany of sins from these 3 leading aspirants would have come from an opposition party and not the MPP. But I mean, you and I are discussing this because they have actually, by words and actions, demonstrated ability to jab each other, to smear each other. And so I will not go to the likelihood of any opposition member posting those. I am of a very strong conviction that it might have come from internal amongst them. And that is where, for me, the difference between the NDC internal elections and the MPP internal elections activities are also comparable. They do theirs better, in my view. They do it better because they are mindful of the fact that after all these internal smears and jabs, one day you may want to come together after January 31st and try to assist each other, whoever becomes the leader, to put up a good show. And they make it look like you have to win an election here in Ghana. So, for example, President Mahama won elections 2024 because he was a Gonja. And that if he had been a Des or a different tribe, he wouldn't have. In fact, you didn't win because you are of a certain tribe. Roland, how is this one a campaign conversation? But you do this to yourselves, and then the floodgate is open. People go to list since 1, since 2. And one very vital aspect of campaign messaging is what you people say about yourselves. In fact, it is the number one. 60% of campaign messages that are winnable are those that they said about themselves. I'm not referring to MPP or anything, but in political contest, if internally you say things about yourselves, it constitutes an opposition's campaign message. And we know this. And they are elders, leaders, strong politicians, astute ones, and they do this, and we have to discuss it this morning on your show. So, yeah, we are watching them. I want to believe that those issues will strongly be addressed during their vetting, and then they may turn out a different path. There are a lot of issues to discuss in their campaign, other than these trivialities.
All right. Have you advised them, since you are very much concerned and agitated about, have you advised them on these things? I mean, have you called one or two, just yes or no? Then on the second round, you can tell me the individuals you've called to advise them.
No, I've not called anybody. We just wish that the democratic politics we practice here will be closer to the standards we are learning from. Okay. There are issues to discuss, and you leave them and talk trivialities.
All right. Did I hear you say you were a former NUC's president or executive?
Oh, no. I said I am a former dean of students, so I worked with both all students, amalgamated societies on campus. I worked with all of them.
Amalgamated, okay. Now, amalgamatedly.
All associations. All associations.
All right, thank you. No, relax for me, Prof. Now, how do we reconcile the jabs and how that could wrap off positively or negatively post this context? Already there are issues about whether it should be a top to bottom up approach, but there's no hard and fast rule about it, is there? And there's always a point in time when you have to set the pace, and MPP rightly is doing that. But these jabs, how they tend to rub off positively or negatively from where you sit?
Thank you very much. There's a small passage in the Bible somewhere.
Please,
that also says that for all have sinned and fall short of the glory of God.
Oh, that's Romans 3:20.
Oh, thank you. Okay, I just know it. So I agree that all MPP members and the government members, and fortunately most of these people that are leading there, have sinned. I agree.
I don't understand.
I agree that all have sinned. And this one I'm agreeing with my brother and my friend Solomon that they've all sinned.
Who won?
And listen, all the MPP made, those running for office and those who were in the government then.
Nobody has.
No.
Okay, you go.
I'm saying that they've sinned. You've sinned. So the question I asked them is, Honorable Alan Chairman Teng was in that government for 6 years.
Give me the
Did he sin? What were his sins?
No. Okay.
Now, if you say they have all sinned and he was there, did he sin?
Okay.
What were his sins too?
Dr. Joshua Jebunte Zato, let's limit the conversation to the MPP and the subject matter. Yes. I know that perhaps you may be tempted to take jabs at individuals who could cause affection or disaffection.
Oh, really?
But
I'll be so happy.
Really?
I'll be so happy.
I sat here
but
and
without,
I watched and we listened.
But without, okay, you go ahead.
Go ahead. I want him to go ahead.
Yeah, if you go ahead.
I'm very happy with the direction.
Anyway.
So Alan Chairman has
No, I'm not going. You see, the thing is this, as I said again, and I'm coming back there, political parties are very vulnerable when they are going there, when they are having their internal elections. It is that period of time when, as you can see, brother on brother, friend on friend, relative on relative. Some of these people work together. They were cabinet members, they start together. And now they are seeing themselves, should I say, tearing themselves up. It's difficult. It's very difficult for them. I know that, as you said, other political parties will come. I know the NDC will have their primaries. And I know, and that's what I know, we have been promised that there will be another political party that will come up. My smart money is that it will not come. My smart money that is all smokes screen. My small money is that it is just smokes and mirrors. It will not come. But I'm saying this, look, things will come. And they say, somebody once said that a piglet asked the mother, why is your mouth so long? And the mother reportedly said, you will grow up and see. The time will come. We will see how all political parties do this. My hope and prayer is that these internal fightings, when they will test the resolve of the leader who now emerges. They will test the resolve on the morning of February 1st. Whosoever emerges, that person's first task is to tell themselves, what am I going to do with these fractures? That is how sometimes leadership is tested. That person will have the task of now saying, look, I need to bring the ship of the party together. And that person will not do that. If you cannot do that, then it will be difficult for you to bring a fractured nation together. You have to do that. So look, again and again and again, I'm going back to the point I've made, and I'm going to stay with that. The party is vulnerable right now. The party is in a difficult position, and the party is doing everything it can to make sure that it solves these problems. There is you just made a very small point to say about the gas, that the president has gone to Japan. It's a good thing to bring the gas to where I always like the fact that investors are brought in the country to help. But I've been told that the gas has been operating in Ghana for the past 2, 3, 4 years. It has been operating in the Sisala area, helping farmers with maize and buying maize and everything. So the gas is already here. So I'm only happy that the president is building on probably the investor environment that was created by the former government, and then is coming to build on it. So it's a good thing. I hope the president gets the money he needs. I hope he gets the investment he needs, and I hope he brings a bit. Somebody just said the gas has been here. It's in the Sisala area, helping maize farmers and everything to go to. At the end of the day, look, I'm not going to make it low. Yes, it's difficult for you to be in MPP this morning because you've seen your own party, you've seen leading members of party tearing themselves apart, digging holes for themselves. It's difficult. But I know that is where resilience comes from. Okay. I know that is where strength comes from. I know that is where ideas come from. And I know that this party and these people will rise up. They will put all the naysayers to shame. They will put all the people that wish them to shame. And I know that at the end of the day, there's light at the tunnel. The sweet roses of the sun will rise and the MPP shall rise. And I know that, look, organizations that do, there's something called resilience. Resilience, the literature, they have published a lot about it, you can read on it. The literature and the resilience talk about organizations that do this. Sometimes the organizations actually get on their knees and all like a boxer, almost like they are knocked out. But your ability to rise up, your ability to seize the moment, your ability to say that, yes, I've been knocked down. Yes, I got up. Yes, I will keep moving. Yes, I'll keep doing is what differentiates you from other people. And I know it will come to pass. Thank you.
Charlie, Edu Tamakulu is watching us, I'm sure, from his office. He has some nice TV in front there. He's always monitoring all the stations because of the subject matter. He's Director for Legal Affairs, but also for MPA CEO. And he says, ask Dr. Zato, why didn't he become a Roman father? His certain biblical references. Okay, let me make a strong face so I can read well. Edu Tamakulu says, ask Dr. Zato, why didn't he become a Roman father? His sudden biblical references are quite remarkable, even to the point that he's even now giving vote of thanks and then colloquial, persuasive, as well as encouraging messages. How did this happen? Turn on a new leaf. And then he said, Roland, your question about the sins and the effect it's going to have on the candidates, the party, post this contest has not been answered. Yes, come to think of it, yes.
But no problem. He's a friend. He's a nice guy.
He's a friend.
But since he became a boss, he has not paid school fees.
Okay, Eduji, that's the response to you.
Tell him to momo me, because he's a good guy. He's a very good guy. He's a very powerful guy.
Again, the same question to you. The jabs that are being thrown. Of course, we've seen contests like maybe JM as well as Dr. Dufo, etc. But again, Smart Sapong makes a key observation that if you look at the jabs that are thrown from your side as well as the others as well, they are not venomous, so to speak. But how do you think the effect could be felt positively or negatively? Because if I go through the 10 sins, I mean, they're very damning on the credibility, the authenticity of those individuals to persuade any ordinary voter to vote for them, so to speak, when they become presidential candidates?
Let me greet Lawyer Eduke. You know, he's our director legal of the party. Yeah, so I've heard Prof. Smart, and I'm happy that this morning Dr. Zato started with a prayer. Prof. Smart came to preach. He came, I think Romans 3.
Romans 3:23.
Yes, so Dr. Zato started with a prayer. Prof. Smart came to preach. I'm sure if you had to call another MPP person, he would come with an Holy Communion. But you see, for this morning is an interesting day. Now we know the sins of the MPP candidates. We know their sins. The question we must ask ourselves, are they ready to be born again? Are they ready to be born again? Are they ready to get salvation? Because, for example, I've received some message from some people from Akutia. They said before these MPP groups come to Akutia, they must be born again from their sins before they come to Akutia. Talking about the effects, of course, we will hold on to it. And this is not just for political propaganda. This is somebody who wants to purchase government institutions, hotels, now wanting to be president. When just as cabinet minister, this person wants to purchase state hotels that pensions fund is used to fund those hotels. The person as cabinet minister. Now, imagine that person becoming a president. Somebody who was vice president taking rice meant for entrepreneurs and giving to persons fasting. Imagine that person becoming president. So, of course, they cannot run away from it unless they prove that they are born again and they've accepted Christ as their Lord and personal Savior. You see, Professor Smart said they are using the NDC, our party, as a standard when they talk about the TESCON expansion that I talked about.
The numbers are larger than yours.
Yeah. You see, the age to even enter parliament, if you look at the constitution, is I think 21. If you enter the university, normally at age 18, 19, you enter the university. By the time you become TESCON executive, at level 300 or level
22, 23.
Exactly. So this logic that you want people to move maturely, you are expanding your base. That is the reform. That's the principle. You are expanding the base. That should be the parity of reasoning. You say you are expanding your base. In fact, if you go to your constituency, you are saying that all former executive, all patrons, all council of elders now have votes. You are expanding the base. So which logic are you using to disenfranchise a TESCON secretary? So you are saying that for the TESCON president, he is ready to join national politics.
The argument is made is that Ting doesn't have these numbers. So
no,
they have even bettered the numbers.
No, your principle is that you are expanding your base. That is the principle. That is the principle. The principle is not we are using NDC system. The principle behind this reform is that you are expanding the base. And I've told you, there's a reason why I refer to the 2007 post-primary, where they introduced the superdelegate conference. And that reform did not meet the test of time. They have come back to abolish it because that reform was geared towards pushing the agenda of Nanado to become, to go to the primaries easily, as compared to the struggle we had in 2007 when we had 17 aspirants. So they brought in another layer, the superdelegate conference, to prune down the persons to 5. So I'm saying that this reform by the MPP, they should look at it again. If it is indeed to expand the base, then give opportunity to TESCON. But if you come and say, oh, TESCON, you must enter national politics gradually and all of that, then you are going to discourage the youth. I'm not a member of the MPP, but I feel for the MPP, for the youth of the MPP. I feel for, when I was in Legon, I was a member of TEN. So I can just imagine TESCON members. So now, you see why when they are going for TESCON election, everybody wants to contest TESCON presidency. You see why?
Because that's where you can have the leadership decision-making vote.
Let's not talk about that. The ramifications on campus. So there'll be acrimony. Meanwhile, these people are supposed to work as a team. As a team. And look, I'm happy. He said he's a former dean of students. If he's still on campus, he will know that this government has released over 3 million Ghana cedi for the no stress fees policy. Then we are working. They can be fighting. They are not ready for governance. They are not ready. But we are working. We are working. Students are happy. We are paying their fees. We are implementing our manifesto. They couldn't implement their manifesto. Look at the exchange rate. It's dropped. We are working. This government is focused. They can be fighting. They can be. But you see, we need a stable opposition party. We need an opposition party that is organized, that is coherent. We need them.
I don't understand. You're saying they are in disarray?
Oh, but can't you see this sinners?
Just because of some templates of 10 sins?
Are they born again?
Born again?
Yes. They are sinners. They claim. He accepted it here. He said we should pray for them. Have you prayed for them? Prof. Smart came to preach that everyone have sinned. Yes. But have they repented? They are prepared to go to Akotia with their sins. With their sins. And I'm calling on the voters of Akotia should be careful when sinners come to them. Thank you.
Edu Jitaboklo then says that I'm monitoring closely and looking at the choice of words, the tone, and the subject matter and the way it's being communicated by Zato and Professor Smart Sapong. The morning show is just a scripture union meeting, SU meeting. All right, very interesting there. On that tone,
yes.
On that tone,
yes.
There are key issues that have been raised.
Yes.
And let's also be factual, but also very much observatory.
Yes.
Which is, if key issues are being raised about the candidates themselves, perhaps a question could be raised that, well, this is an internal contest. So why should anybody beyond the periphery be worried?
I mean, Roland, first of all, don't let anybody deceive you that what is happening in the MPP is an internal contest. All political parties are public institutions. And so whatever is happening there is a public outplay. You cannot just say that it's because the MPP has its matter. Nobody should discuss it. So let's put that in the banner. And let me come to Professor Smart Sapon. You see, one of the things that we all must try to do, there is nothing wrong in coming out and saying that you are an MPP member. There is absolutely nothing wrong with that. You and I know that you are an MPP member. So if you come on air and you are doing that business, do it.
Who are you referring to?
Professor Smart Sapon.
What has it done to you?
I am here defending my movement for change. And his opening statement is that when the matter is about the MPP, my energy levels are different.
You said he gets agitated.
Why
get agitated?
Why get agitated? I've stated this morning right here that our political party is going to be formed. He has no clue as to what we are doing on the ground here, and we are not going to let them know because he will not wish as well until we finish everything and unveils it. That is why you will see that politics is just like modern day building. That the way we build houses of today, we don't just go out and be shouting and building. You do all the building inside. When you come out, you just release it. So he must be told that when we are here and we are discussing our interests, I am defending my movement and the matter has been put on the floor. I have knowledge about it. I'm discussing the same way he also has knowledge about it and is discussing. And he must not be refraining or running away from the fact that he is an MPP member. It's good for our democracy. And he has that right. After all, everybody is entitled to join a political party. Again, Zato says, my political party will never see
the light of day.
And he has thrown a challenge. I want to assure Zato that I'm not one of those that will come and sit here and say something that I don't know.
That you don't brag?
Absolutely. That
the party, you're blowing hot air.
You see, the country Ghana needs our political party to take out this irresponsible opposition party. The MPP is becoming an irresponsible opposition. I wish TV3 would never bring any topic that has to do with the MPP because this one I've realized that my brother is so fragile. He's so fragile. Yeah. He cannot even speak. Look at the voice. Now he is preaching. He has all of a sudden turned into a motivational speaker. That we are going to come out. We are going to come out. It was the same way that the CPP was shouting. We are going to come out. We are going to come out. CPP, where is it? When you press the destructive button, when you deliberately inflict onto yourself that destruction mode, There is no way you are going to come back.
Solo, how did they do that?
I am telling you that.
Distractive button?
They did it. It was well orchestrated, led by Nana Akufo-Addo with his cabal. They did it beautifully. And it is now dealing with yourself. You are saying that you are going to come back. How are you going to come back? When a formidable opposition party is going to emerge. And we are going to make sure that we sell a very good message to the people of this country to see us as an alternative, a viable one as such, to be able to move the forward march. And by the way, the reason why I brought in Diggers, that's the Japanese financing house, was not to say that they are not already in this country. No. I'm sure you missed the point. But let me reiterate the point.
About their financial outlay.
Yes, they say they are giving this country $100 million for 4 years period, meaning that if it is going to materialize every year, we are going to have $25 million. My point is that we did not need President Mahama to travel 22 hours to Japan to go and solicit for this fund when Nana Akufo-Addo had expended almost $100 million sitting in this country digging a hole. That money could have been used to better our agriculture. And if this is the reason why the Ghanaian voted against you, what levels of expansion of your delegate system would raise this perception or this clear-cut breach of the people's trust to vote for you again? So what we are dealing with is not a matter of you expanding your delegates or system or adding former executives or new executives, 10 regional this. It doesn't mean anything.
Is that the way you're talking about your
it doesn't mean it. Which one is that? And let me deal with where you wanted to go. I have said, this business of sinners, I didn't bring it. Have I manufactured sinners in this studio? Your own party people are throwing the jabs. They are exposing to us. And I hope Yoko, Office of the Special Prosecutor, FIC, FBI, but
CIA,
if Brian, you come and tell us
Special
that
Branch,
on behalf
MI5.
of Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, he said on behalf of Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, he paid executives in the Eastern region $1,500. The reason why the city was depreciating like nobody's business. You see why the city was depreciating? $1,500. And you know why they did that? Because it was all about Alan Chemanti. Let us use money to force him out. You did it, your party is collapsing. Today you want me to pray for you. Instead of who goes to pray for his enemy? I'd rather spend my time to pray for my political party.
How do you think the impact of these being put out there, the 10 cents, I've even seen 16, etc., going to affect, the credibility? How voters will view these individuals as one of them will be elected as candidates?
So this morning when we raised the issue of sinners, and I quoted Romans 6:23, immediately smart and then Zato, who has never quoted any scripture, all of a sudden found quotations. And they were quoted Romans 3:23. Is that not the case? Now, if you look at the arrangement in the Bible, Romans 3:23 comes before Romans 6:23. Is that not the case? So if Romans 3:23 was telling you that all have sinned and fall short of the glory of God, and then the same Romans come back in Romans 6:23 and tells you that for the wages of sin is death. It means after looking at the whole situation, you realize that no, you can sin, but the punishment of it has to be death. When you say you have sinned, Roland, you go to court and confess before a judge that, my Lord, I'm guilty. I'm very glad there's a lawyer here. It is not for you to say you are guilty and then the judge will say, oh, because you have confessed, go home. All that the judge will do. Are you a Catholic? All that the judge. Are you a Catholic? No, I'm coming. Please.
I'm coming.
I'm coming.
It's disrupting your communication flow.
No, because when we confess...
No, That is okay. I see the strategy. You are trying to disrupt this communication.
No, but I'll finish.
He's saying that, no,
I am more focused than he thinks.
In the sacrament of confession.
So, when you go before the judge and confess your sins, the judge will say, fantastic. Now, all that the judge will do is to go and look at the criminal code and look at the punishment there is for the very crime that you have confessed. So now that you people have exposed to us that you have sinned, Ghanaians have accepted it. Now, it is for us to go and look at the extent of the sins that you have committed. The punishment thereof will be released so that we will know whether to give you 100 years in opposition, 200 years in opposition, or even make sure that you are destroyed.
Oh, but the voters will decide that.
But I'm a voter. I am a voter. And I'm telling you that for them to openly tell us that they are sinners is good enough for election 2028. And that is why the country will not settle on sinners. The country will settle on people who are sacrosanct, who means well, who are not corrupt, who will not misuse our funds, who will not abuse office, and rather settle on people who are well bent on developing this country.
Among the leading, Brian Champong, Dr. Mahmoud Baumia, Kenny Japan get connected. Who is likely or who should be given the nod?
Who should be given the nod in their party? Me, I don't wish any of them well, so they can.
Right. Thank you very for your
Professor Smasapo, your last word on this. If there's 5-pointer,
there is.
If there's a 5-pointer advisory, based on your observation, and it's good that now you've revealed to us that you were even a dean of students, so you interacted with all the political groupings. And these days, we even have lecturers who are for all parties, MPP, NDC as well. And then we have the youth leaders as well. 5-pointer advisory to the MPP. Based on the research that you conduct, what would it be?
All right, so pardon me, the first minute I'm using it to address some of these issues. So one goes to my brother Edujita Maklo, watching us from his office. Last Monday was my birthday. I was expecting to hear from him. He didn't come. Today, he has conspicuously refused to notice that I referred to Romans 3:23 in response to my brother Solomon's reference to Romans 6:23.
Yes.
So I didn't preach, even though I am a preacher, Roland. I am a preacher, student of the Bible.
Which church?
And we can. Oh, I am an elder of the Presbyterian Church of Ghana.
Fantastic, man.
Yes. So I sometimes
a junior seminary almost became a priest.
All right.
Almost. Yes.
No, okay, please.
It's a problem. That's why today
we'll have 1 minute to deal with that. Okay. Please go ahead.
Xavier Junior Seminary.
Yes. So Roland,
yes, sir.
One day we will do the eschatology of the Bible, how it is arranged, so that its interpretation will not mean that because all have sinned has come to pass, the judgment of sin, everybody will die once you sin. That analogy. So that is. So my brother Edujita Maklo, I didn't come to preach. I only referred to Romans 3:23 because my own brother Solomon earlier referred to Romans 6:23. So that was just the point. And then my brother Wisdom, lawyer, says I come to preach, and he also forgets that I mentioned Romans 3:23 because Solomon had mentioned Romans 6:23. So I will let that pass. I didn't come to preach. On a good occasion, when I have to preach, I will preach. And then the text contained comparison. It was a comparison. In my view, those two political parties learn from one another. In fact, it's a tactical play. So when you leave the foundation, the NDC situation, and says the NPP is wrong, for an instance where 15 for 10 at the regional level, 40 plus for TESCON, and you don't think it's an expansion, because not all there may be, assuming each school has 15 executives times 40, not all the 15 times 40 makes it wrong. Then tactically, you are suggesting that the MPP should have no strategy in response to NDC, MPP. They learn from each other, and I'm sure the most competitive opposition to NDC will be MPP, just as the most competitive opposition to MPP will be NDC.
Yeah.
I mean, still with all due respect to all the other political parties. Okay. It is good for them to learn from one another, and that's why I made that comparison. And then the saying. Seriously, I am of the view that when Ghanaians elect a president, we as citizens must do everything we can to help the president succeed. All right? And so that has been my view politically. If I happen to even join a political party, Roland, I will still play this sacred role very well. So I will not sit on the TV and make it look as if everything President Mahama has done so far is wrong. Even though you and I know that not everything President Mahama has done is right. It's a human institution. Some may go wrong, some may go right. What we need to do is to help give positive criticisms for him to succeed. It is in his success that we as a country would all succeed. That is my mentality. If it will be ascribed to any political party whatsoever, I don't have a problem with that at all. But I've done that, and I consistently continue to do that. That is my view. Then on your recommendations, I am of the view that I mean, not everybody likes you, we know that. And to the enemy, everything you do is seen as wrong.
Yeah.
That is why everything the MPP is doing is seen as wrong. But they, as a party, must keep focus. If their strategy is to rebuild their party and they think step 1, let's go to conference. Step 2, let's implement Okoye's report one by one. Conference will clear the amendments. After that, we will follow it with maybe amnesty. After that, this, that, and it is their plan. They should go ahead and keep it. And I'm sure their aims and aspirations, even if it gets thwarted, they would admit that, yes, it was our plan that did not end well. But, I mean, to get distracted, the unfortunate thing is that their distraction is largely internal. And I've emphasized that point on your show that, and the NDC does that internal thing better than the MPP. Yes, do for Mahama and co, blah, blah. But you not see this extent of smearing one another as if they will never come together. So that is where I refer to the leadership to help curtail their elders, Mr. Mpieni, President Kufuor and co are there. At the vetting, they would have the last opportunity to talk to them. And hopefully if they turn a new leaf, it will be good for them. If not, I want to repeat again, the best 60% of campaign messages that are significant are those that you are referred to. It's your own internal thing and you said this. If internally you said that, what you said about your own selves can constitute a very significant campaign message, and they must be mindful if they know their politics very well.
Okay.
So thank you, Roland.
Thank you very much as well, Professor Smart Sapong. Are you still the Dean of Students in addition to your role?
No, I am. Yes, you remember the last time I said I was director in charge of research and innovation. We keep rotating. Okay. I may even leave the directorate very soon to a different place. We keep rotating this.
Okay. Thank you very much, lay preacher, elder of the Presbyterian Church. Your church branch is which one in Kumasi?
Yeah, KNUST Presby.
All right.
KNUST, yeah, University Presby Church. So it's a district, tech district, and then the Christ congregation is my immediate congregation.
So your thing is what? Are you a presbyter or how do you say?
I'm a presbyter, yes.
All right. Okay. So money of the UK side, I should ask you, who is going to win the primaries based on your poll so far or the information you're picking?
You see, I really want the system to settle. Now we have about 5 people likely to submit their forms and therefore will constitute the aspirants. And then as they engage the constituencies, I may also go through to see what the response would be. I will definitely share my findings with you, Roland.
This is very much unlike you. Before presidential candidates of parties submit their forms, you keep throwing research outcomes as to who is leading the race and not. But don't worry.
Give me one instance.
No, that's fair. That's a fair.
I've never done that. I'm a very consistent person, Roland. I've never done what you said.
All right. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Professor Smart Sapong, sure. Director of Research and Innovation, Kumasi Technical University, helping us and doing us the honors as well. And that'll be it for you, gentlemen. Mani says, I have watched the videos of Brian Ichampong, and he's saying that he gave money for delegates to vote, even sponsoring. This is why I keep saying that he needs to be invited by Yoko and FIC. Where do you get that much money to be throwing around? Lifestyle audit is always needed. If you have the money and you keep it under your bed, that's another matter. Once you go public, it becomes another as well. Mama War says that, yeah. Hey, Professor Zato will not kill us, so he's not professor. GTech is watching.
Don't let GTech
come from my head. So Mama War of the Asogli State says that Dr. Zato will not kill us. So I agree with Solomon. Today, Zato's voice is very calm and down this morning, pa. And then she adds the exclamation, "Hey, Solo." He said he doesn't wish any of them well. I have this one from lawyer Kakri Samwa. Good morning to you. He says, this morning's show is now an exercise in the interpretation of Bible quotations. Wahala don't come. Led by Dr. Dr. Zato started it. Oh, I think that we have to pay homage to him. For Stephen Peng is watching us from WA. He says there's no doubt about how grassroots members are getting money to pay for the nomination forms for their preferred candidates. Please be informed that these same preferred candidates pass the money through the back door for the nomination forms to be paid for and subsequent submission. These same grassroots members openly chastise their own leaders for neglecting them, resulting in the huge defeat in the last election. Stephen Peng from WA. Stephen, good morning to you. And Nelson says, what happened to the Michael Quay reports? Until that report is made public, for the candidates to know what exactly caused their defeat, their candidates will keep on, he puts it in quotes, bashing each other.
What happened to the Kwesi Boche report?
Yes, key question. Where's the Kwesi Boche report as well? Okay.
Exactly.
And then Philip Abochi also says good morning to Solomon. He's made my morning. I always enjoy him. Please give me his number. I don't know how many people call you. People keep calling you left, right, center. Have they given you CVs that you should submit for jobs already?
Can you imagine?
Because that's what usually they do. Good morning. And then Maxwell Akpabli from Ayawaso East constituency. So these MPP guys are telling us today that whatever they defended in the past, whether it was about Baumia O'Brien or Kenny Japan, were sins, they knew these three sinners against us, yet they defended them. I am astonished. Hey, astonished. Big word though. All right. And then Henry Tema Central says, please, I want to find out from Dr. Zato whether he has now accepted that he's ping. All right. And all of you who keep also sending the messages as well. BT Sly, I see your message. Prince Nani Ayok says, Prince Nani Ayok is a regular watcher from the UK. The submission made by Solomon is the reality. Ghana elections are mainly won by floating voters. No party should claim membership without data at their party offices. But for the oral, dear, tell Solo to take heart, because we, the voters, are watching keenly. If no retrievals and imprisonment are made, the butterfly mood will be activated. Do you have butterfly as your symbol for the incoming party?
Oh, when I tell you, why would you come to the
okay.
Are you saying?
And then Oseboatin says that it's quite interesting that TV3 is discussing this today, even though apart from Zato, they don't have real MPP representatives.
Oh, really?
He's a researcher. And then, so I've read that one. And then Courage Kutuka says, the MP flag bearer race, whatever they bring, the NDC is ready for them, and they will remain in a position for a long time as the government keeps doing what it has to do to ensure that they appeal positively to the voters. Ebo Bachman, he'll be here on Friday. Good morning to Ebo Bachman, great guy. I keep referring to him as a former MPP member. The amnesty has been opened, floodgates opened. They say come back to the party, apply alongside you, Solo, Apia Dankwa, lawyer Apia Dankwa, and then also Nani Al-Sapon, including Ohinin to the rest. Apply and you will join. You say you are here saying no. You are swearing heaven and earth. Today you have two MPP representatives on your show. I hope they won't claim that TV3 is biased against the MPP again. He says, I beg, read them. I have read it. Ebo Bachman, good morning to you. I don't want your trouble. And we have a couple more. Today I've been allowed to read. Mubarak, I've seen your statement. And then Kwesi Mensah from Albany, New York, United States of America, says, Baumia was the chairman of the police council. Brian Champon was the national security minister. Kenny Japan was the chairman of the parliamentary select committee on security. Those missing arms from the Ghana Armed Forces. That's the then defense minister, the late one announced. Do any of the three senators know something about it? Kwesi Mensah, you're in New York and talking about Ghana problems. Okay. And thank you very much as well. So we have a couple more. Sherry Giovanni, I agree with the assertion of lawyer Wanda Kuto that Honorable Brian Champon's message is all about how he funded this activity. If he really and truly wants to lead the MPP, he must change from that tangent of messaging and also from attacking other aspirants, especially Dr. Mahmoud Baumia. That's life. And and campaign to run after. There's live to and campaign to run after the flag bearer election, so to speak. All right, more messages. Obrimpon Kaba, I've seen your messages. Well, they said it's okay. It's okay. And then Engineer Samwachum is also, he said, hey, Solomon Wusu. He's just my man. Engineer Samwachum, wishing you all the best. Okay, Professor Smart Sapon, wishing you all the best for the day, okay? Okay, when will you go to church next time?
Oh, I do church every Sunday, Roland.
Okay. You are like me then. We are Sunday people. Yes. Okay. And then Elliot's book there as well. But let's also tell you about, if you want to look smart and fashionable, visit any Wooding boutique nationwide today. Wooding is telling you that they are offering an amazing collection of authentic African fabrics, all coming ready to wear in beautiful designs and colors for men and women. And so with Wooding, you can get creative, versatile with your designs. Be confident and show off how truly African you are in Wooding. So go to a Wooding boutique near you today. Get to choose from their variety of trendy African fabrics, designs, and use that to complement your style. You can do blocking, etc., like Elizabeth does for me. Each time she sews for me. So, and follow Wooding Fashion on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Dr. Joshua Zabunti Zato, thank you, of Sisala East Constituency. Thank you as well. Lawyer Wanda Kuto, thank you as well. And then also Solomon Owusu. He is an entrepreneur. Just went on a worldwide. Did you go to TICAD as well? Because you traveled last week, right?
Yeah. He went with the president to Japan and
Egypt Kudoto is a vice chair for the NDC in the Volta region. He says that today is the birthday of my regional communication officer, Dumaga Kafui Sokpa Agblazer. Special wishes from the NDC regional executives from Egypt Kudoto. That's why we have to go for a break. When we come back, we'll tell you about cash out. It goes with the short code *439#. Can we have it on the screen for you? So *439#, always available for you. Choose option 2, increase the number of tickets you have, become one of those lucky winners. As always,